following program is an exclusive Disruption Networks production.
Hey, it's Adeline Van Dyke from Coldwell Banker Faith Properties in Utica. I always get asked, why do I love real estate? It's very simple. I love my clients. I love every single thing about helping them find or sell their home. Making sure the home is solid and ready for sale, or solid and ready for the buyer's inspection, to making sure that they're getting the best rate on their mortgage, making sure they're getting the best price on their house. You know, just everything involved in the sale is vital. My absolute favorite part of real estate is when a buyer walks into the house they're going to buy. I can feel it before they even know they're loving the house. It's just that obvious. So I'd love to experience that feeling with you. So give me a call. Adeline Van Dyke, Coldwell Banker Faith Properties, 315-404-6431. Or you can find me on Facebook or visit my website at centralnewyork.com/Adeline. Thank you, and I look forward to welcoming you home.
When it's your hard-earned money on the line that you are investing into a home, it makes sense to choose a proven professional to assist you in making one of the biggest investments you may ever make. Josh's dedication of over 20 years to the home construction industry allows him to bring knowledge and experience to your doorstep. That means you can feel confident and comfortable with his service to you. Past clients love his attention to detail and thorough written reports. By allowing Priceless Inspections to help you make a well-informed decision concerning your property, you will find that a quality inspection is priceless. Follow Priceless Inspections on Facebook or call 315-525-8725. In the Mohawk Valley, for the best real estate service, you gotta have faith. Coldwell Banker Faith Properties, 315-735-2222 or www.centralnyhomes.com.
YOLO, infidels, that's right. It's Hacker Hameen.
This is Al Schnier from the band Mo.
Hey, this is Corey Glover from Living Color.
And you're listening to EC Radio.
And you're listening to EC Radio.
Live on EC Radio with the Z-Man. So take the pizza out of your fat moron mouths. Sit back and listen before I give you a $5 face slap. You'll never forget, infidels. YOLO.
Welcome to EC Radio Podcast. We would like to thank all of our sponsors for joining the Disruption team, and we hope that you will support all of our sponsors. And of course, we appreciate you listening to this program.
EC Radio, Disruption Networks. EC Radio, Disruption Networks.
It's the Wacky Wednesday edition of EC Radio. What's good, everybody? Hump Day Hoedown. It is here. You made it through another Wednesday, people. It's time to disrupt. It's time to disrupt your day. It's EC Radio. I'm having one of those freaking days where nothing is going right. So I think this is the time where I got to throw my PSA. I'm going to throw, every day I usually put a PSA out there, public service announcement, for those that are keeping score at home. Today, my public service announcement, I'm going to start right off the top, is get off your phones when you're driving, people. Get off your phones. Yeah. Now, I can understand the millennials. They're sitting there, they're driving, they want to check their Facebook. I can't understand it, but get off the phone. Anyways, and maybe some Gen X. But how about these baby boomers that are actually on their phone, too? There's a guy, he could barely even, see over the steering wheel, and he's got his head down. I don't know if he's narcoleptic or if he's just staring at his phone or whatever. Wake up. You're on the road. Get off the road if you can't drive. If you want to text, pull over. If you want to check your Facebook, go home and check your Facebook. Don't check it on the road. All right. That's my public service announcement for today. I'm fired up today.
You are fired up today.
But nothing is going right today, and I'm going to take it out on my listeners.
All right, good. Just don't take it out on us.
No, not at all. Joining me today, Melanie's in the house. Mel Francis is in the house, and Jessie as well. Jessie, how do you say your last name again?
Morinetti.
And we got peoples in common.
We do.
We got some peoples in common, and I'm sure maybe
we're going to make these connections work. I like it.
I'm sure your uncle will be checking in a little bit. He usually does.
Oh, I hope so. Hi, Uncle Tom, if he does.
Uncle Tommy. I never heard him be called Uncle Tom before. That's so cute. Anyway, so much love and respect out to him. Tom is like a mentor brother to me, and like I probably wouldn't be I would not be sitting in this seat right now if it wasn't for him, because he
that's
actually
pretty
lined me up with
awesome.
this building, and
He's pretty awesome.
he is pretty awesome.
pretty
He is pretty
awesome.
awesome. So
We
I
love
love you,
him.
Tommy. So Mel is here from the American Cancer Society. We got the Relay for Life coming up really, really soon, right? That's happening in June.
Right. You're right. We're kicking it off tomorrow night. We always have kickoffs for our relay events, and they range. They're fun. Tomorrow we're going to be at Saranac, so we're really, really excited. We're having a happy hour there, and we want everybody to come and check it out, learn about what we do, and hopefully get involved in some way.
So what kind of activities are going on at Saranac tomorrow?
We're just drinking.
Just
What kind of activities usually go on at Saranac?
well, you
tomorrow?
never know. I didn't know if
No.
there's maybe a little twist to the drinking.
No, there actually we do. We have some games, which our actual theme this year for our event is game night. So we actually have some board games, and we have a game that the people that can come in can do that we won't really spoil tonight. They have to be there to learn about it. And then our Bark for Life, which is our canine version of Relay for Life. They have a game there too, which is going to be pretty fun. And they're giving away dog treats and some good goodies for your pups.
I need those.
Yeah.
'Cause I have 3.
Well, then we hope to see you there,
And
right?
they run my life.
Right, exactly.
As they should.
As they should.
Yep.
All dogs run their owner's life. Is that correct?
Guilty.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You have dogs, Jesse?
I have a dog.
A dog?
And it runs my life just as much as my 3 kids do. So
She's got baby twins.
Oh, do you really?
I do.
Well,
I
and a
do.
doggy at home.
A doggy at home and a 12-year-old.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
dog is the one that runs your life more than the kids sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
actually, they're battling out for it, especially, the 9-month-olds and the puppy. They're kind of like territorial, they're trying to see who rules the roost.
Yeah. You're busy then, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You got a lot going
Yeah,
on.
I do.
And you volunteer for the relay?
I do. I've been doing it for quite a while, but I'm really excited about our kickoff. This is the first time we're holding it at Saranac, and we're kind of bringing a whole new format. And I think it's going to bring a lot of life and a lot of excitement to not just the kickoff event, but I can see it flowing over into the relay event itself in June. So we're really looking forward to it. A lot of excitement around it.
Chicken is joining us. Chicken's having one of those days too today. It's like it's all just trickling down. But anyways,
Hey, Chicken.
we have Jesse and Mel's in the house
doing?
with us.
Whoa.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
So Melanie, we got to take it back a little bit to the Real Men Wear Pink campaign
Absolutely.
back in
Let's
October.
do it.
And
Yeah.
how I rocked it.
You did. You kicked some serious pink booty.
I kicked some serious pink booty.
Yeah.
Well, I got off to a great start, and then I can't remember what happened, but there was just like a couple times where I just didn't get in, and I should have been raising some more. But we did kick ass.
You
We
did.
as a team too.
Yeah.
We raised more money than any
Yeah.
other team ever.
Right, ever. Actually, you guys did amazing. I mean, you were thousands of dollars over the goal, which was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And next year it's going to be better because you're already recruiting.
Oh no,
new
I'm a one
people.
and done.
Yeah, no way. That's not how
I'm
it
a one
works.
and done. I'm like Michael Carter Williams.
Well, what you do is you recruit somebody to replace you, and then challenge them to beat you,
Okay.
and then that's how it. You can.
Oh,
bow
is that
out.
how it works?
Yeah, it's like a an apprenticeship or something.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So you got to get somebody from here. I mean, you already had your guys that dyeing their beards pink and stuff too, right?
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So you're doing it again.
Mom has spoken. I don't want to piss her off either. It's like she could probably kick my ass. So
I could definitely kick your
I'll put money on her.
I've seen her beat up Al.
Aw. Yeah, but that's also probably true.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to say anything.
Uh-oh.
But the Relay for Life that's going on, what's the date on the relay?
June 9th.
June 9th.
And 10th. So it starts at noon and it ends at 9 a.m. the next day. So it's an all-night affair. You don't have to come and stay all night. That's sort of a misconception out there. We would like for people to, but we understand everybody's busy and really can't commit to an all-night thing, especially when they have twin 8-month-olds at home or 9-month-olds at home. And we get that. So we just want people to come out. It's a chance for us to honor and recognize our cancer survivors and do some fundraising for the American Cancer Society. And we're going to have some fun. And if you can come out and walk the track for 1 mile, that's great. Do it. If you can come and stay for a couple hours, that's great too. So, and if you want to come all night, we're glad to have you.
I like the fact that we're talking about June too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we definitely have something to look forward to.
Right.
And June always equals warmer weather. which we all love around here. But
Right.
you know, you're gonna come back a few more times before the relay, right?
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, it's pretty warm today.
Yeah, right.
I mean, all things considered.
Right. Who knows? In June, it could be snow. You never know.
I actually had the
upstate New
windows
York.
open.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
the
I
truck,
drove here with the window down, and that felt nice. I was like, all right.
And to be fair to those of you that are not in Utica, New York, it's 47, and we're saying that's really warm.
Break
This
out
from
the
a-
flip flops.
This from a Southern girl. I don't know what's happened.
I almost wore a tank top today, the cutoffs, but I was like, nah, I better not. Anyways, only in upstate New York do we talk about the weather constantly. I go anywhere I go. I was just paying a bill, and the lady just started, well, it looks beautiful today, but I don't know about the rest of the week. And it's like anywhere you go in Utica, people are constantly talking about the weather.
Well, you got to keep an eye on it because you want to make sure that you're not going to get hit with snow and travel conditions and things like that.
Right. So our kickoff was originally scheduled for last Wednesday, and guess what? We had a blizzard. I mean, it wasn't actually a blizzard, but it was some pretty severe weather, and so we had to scramble and reschedule. And the guys at Saranac were awesome, and we're excited that we were able to reschedule so quickly. But that's another thing. That adds a whole nother level. You got to tell everybody that you've told, and all the newspapers and all the radio and everybody that was promoting your event. Oh, by the way, we've had to cancel it, but I guess that's sort of par for the course up here in the winter.
Yeah, it's happened. Last year there was 3 St. Patty's Day.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
There was 3 of them. There was the real one that always happens on the 17th, and there was the one that got canceled, but they still did it anyways, and then there was the one that was the actual parade.
Right, because that was an actual blizzard.
So every Saturday in March last year was St. Patty's Day. It was awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of partying going on in this town.
Yeah, that doesn't matter if it's St. Patrick's Day or not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of partying going on in this town.
You're originally from South Carolina,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And to come up here, was it culture shock or?
Not culture shock, more just weather shock. I mean,
Yeah.
the people are actually very nice, and that was pretty common in the South. I mean,
Right.
there's a lot less bless your hearts, but it's
Good.
it works so well though. It says so many things.
Bless your heart.
But for the most part, everybody is super friendly and certainly willing to, you break down, a car is going to stop and help you, and that's pretty common.
Yeah.
I lived in Atlanta for 15 years before moving up here, so that part is different, just because it takes me a minute and a half to get to work versus an hour and a half to get to work. So which I like.
That's what we love about Utica. There's no traffic.
There's no traffic.
None whatsoever. You could get from one end of town to the other in about 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Yep.
It's great. But then remember when the oil tanker spilled last year or something, and they really shut the whole city down, and people
Everybody
were
went nuts.
freaking out.
They couldn't
like,
handle
wow,
it.
what would you do if you lived in Manhattan?
Well, that's the thing about around here too, is you have alternate routes. There's always another way to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Back roads.
There's
or
like
whatever.
5 alternate routes off of that one. Yeah, it was pretty nice, even though they were all congested. But you're right, it's beautiful.
You go to some of these places. When I lived in Cocoa Beach, you had A1A, and if that got locked up, you're screwed.
Right.
That's the only thing going in and out of that town.
I can't imagine. My road rage wouldn't do situations like
Don't
that.
don't drive in Atlanta. You'll
No,
be in
thank
jail.
you.
I had road rage today too, because way too many people are on their phones while they're driving. Get off your phones, people. Listen, I understand you want to watch EC Radio, and that's cool, but wait till you get home to do it. Wait till you get to the office, or wait till you get to your destination. Driving's way more important than checking your Facebook and your email, your Twitter, or text messaging.
Or at least learn to do both.
I mean, right. I'm pretty good at Twitter and driving. I'm just kidding.
Or have a shotgun to do it for you. Or,
There you go.
That's the technique. Have your shotgun do it.
How's your shotgun gonna work?
The guy in the passenger seat or the woman
What
in
if
the
you're
passenger
alone?
seat. Well, if you're alone, then just wait till you get home to check your text message.
It can wait.
It can wait.
It can
Exactly.
wait.
Hashtag it can wait.
I had to sign a thing for that when I worked at Verizon.
Yeah.
That if we got caught texting or whatever, we could be fired.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Texting on the road?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
That's some serious shit, man. And people are just, it's a law, and people are still not obeying that law.
That's because it's hard to catch you. You know what I mean? I mean, it is and it isn't. You can see it, but then they don't waste their time on it because the penalty, I guess, isn't that. I don't know what the penalty is in New York, but in
it's probably
Georgia it was like a fine. Yeah,
like $50 or
Yeah.
$100 or something
Yeah.
like that.
Up
right?
here, it's pretty stiff.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's points on your license too. I think it's like 2 points on your license. or
Rightfully
something like
so.
Well, then, yeah. I mean, you're hands free. You've been hands free up here for a long time, right? For speaking on the phone.
that. Yeah.
Hands free?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't use your phone while
You
you're
can't
talking.
actually have it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you just couldn't use your phone, period, while you're
Well, I mean, that was before text messaging was a thing. I think they totally, like, you weren't allowed to hold your phone up to your ear to talk on the phone. Which was, we didn't have that in the South. You're allowed to
like
talk.
Florida.
You could talk on the phone down there? Really?
Yeah,
While you're
Florida-
driving?
Yep.
It makes no difference.
Nope.
Man.
Yeah. They may have changed it, but
No wonder why everybody drives like an asshole in Florida.
yeah.
Oh my God, they're the worst in Florida.
They are.
They're also
pretty
old.
bad.
Yeah, well, they are.
and nobody's from Florida.
That's true.
You know, they're all from somewhere else.
They're all from New York.
Yeah,
Well-
all the bad drivers from up here go down there.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
you get a lot of Canadians and a lot of people from Michigan too,
Yeah.
down in Florida.
Oh yeah, of course. The snowbirds.
So they're all like looking around like, where do I go? You know.
But there's only that one road, so.
Exactly. It would literally take me 20 minutes to get a mile down the road where I worked. It was crazy.
That is crazy.
I used to live by Ron John's, and it'd be like an hour, or like about 20 minutes to a half hour to get to like literally half hour down the road.
Ron John Surf Shop?
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that place in years.
I used to live like right in front of it.
Yeah.
That was your destination point to know where you were, especially on those
Well,
long nights of drinking.
When I gave people like tell them where I lived, like right across the street from Ron John's. Yep.
There you go. That was a good landmark.
Yep. You can't miss that.
You can't miss it. Yeah, it's huge.
So what do we got? What's our affiliation with the Relay for Life this year? What are we going to do, Chicken? We got to do something.
Oh, come on.
We need to do something. You need
I'm
music
still
over
looking
there,
for
huh?
some music acts.
We need music.
And
There's
I
a
know
lot
you
of
guys
bands.
know people.
Yeah, there's a lot of bands that listen to the show, and there's a lot of bands on the show.
Rainbow.
That's
Play?
awesome.
No.
Okay, well, there's some stipulations to be there. I mean,
You
much
have to
love
know
to
how to
Rainbow, much love to him. But you have to be family friendly.
Yeah, and you have to know how to tune your instrument.
Yes, that's usually good because you have to remember these bands. They're donating their time to us, so
Right.
it's really big. We really appreciate everything they do, and I understand that it is a hard commitment to make sometimes. And quite honestly, there's times where you're playing and I'm asking you to get everybody excited and pumped up, and not a single person is watching you because they're walking. So you may
True.
not have an actual crowd in front of you, and I still need you to act as if you have 100 people standing in front of you giving you their full attention.
More importantly, you need to get your 100 people to come out and
Better,
watch
yeah,
you.
that would be even better.
Mhm.
Because there's a lot to do. There is the entertainment, and the teams have their own stuff going on, and
There's always awesome raffles.
Yeah.
People are raffling off televisions, and
there's some really big ones out there. We've had Adirondack chairs and like Adirondack chair sets, and to me, I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely.
those are always my favorite.
We've had kayaks and bikes and really nice fire pits and, like you said, TVs and stuff.
So there's a
Not
lot
to
of
mention
raffles,
a lot
huh?
of liquor baskets. Usually, just hints out there.
I like that stuff.
Yeah,
Yep, wheelbarrows
Everything.
of wine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wheelbarrows of wine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many bottles of wine can you fit in a wheelbarrow?
A lot.
I think you guys
How many
should
boxes
create
of wine?
Better yet, why don't you guys create a team, and that should be your challenge. How many bottles of wine can you fit in a wheelbarrow?
There you go. And then
Ta-da!
How many bottles of wine can we drink out of a wheelbarrow?
Well, here's the thing. I'm not really a wine person, so let's kind of put something else together.
Utica
you
Club?
could do a
UC?
you,
There you go.
You can make
Right.
it how many cans of UC in there.
There
Like
you
that
go.
makes
yeah,
sense.
you
All
could
right, so that's
totally do
better.
That's
that.
smart.
Yeah, or you could you
Make
could,
it one of those instead of like how many jelly beans are in there, like how many cans of UC are in there.
I like that.
We got to add ice, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to add ice.
Well, we can't drink it there.
No, yeah, no
Oh.
drinking there.
Yeah. So that's
But afterwards, you can celebrate how great your team did.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Huh.
because it's a family-friendly thing, and
Gotcha.
you can drink tomorrow night. at
Obviously,
the
you don't know
kickoff.
my family.
Yes.
Your family's not allowed then.
Unless they have a lot of money and they want to come spend it on all of our stuff. We can see about exceptions we can
Exactly.
make. I'm kidding.
Yeah. UC, I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
give a little love to our sponsors. Maybe they'll help us out with
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
Kinda cool.
maybe that's something we can do.
I like it.
Yeah. And so we got to walk around a little bit
And then
Yeah.
and people will buy a chance to guess at how many UCs they are, and you'll make a lot of money on it that you'll of course turn into the American Cancer Society, and then whoever you can pull a raffle winner out of that and give them a wheelbarrow of UCs.
That's
And then
huge.
we can all go with them when relay's over and help them drink it.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like the way you drink everything.
Celebratory.
Oh no, she's a smart one. All about the party, though.
I just like to have a good time and give back.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely, and that's what it is. That's the important thing is giving back.
Absolutely.
And you guys do a lot of events, and so you definitely do give back. What are some of the other events you guys are doing?
Well, our relay season is our big thing right now.
Is that all you're focusing on right now?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, we also on a kind of different note, we have Colgate University is participating in a 3-point challenge, which is pretty cool, and it goes towards the American Cancer Society. So basically, for the month of February, they want their fans to pledge a certain dollar amount for however many 3-pointers they'll make. And you go on this Pledge It website, and they're competing against 200 other schools in the country. Like Florida is the University of Florida is in first place right now because somebody committed $1,000 a 3-pointer, which is insane. And
$1,000 a 3-pointer?
Yeah. And so if they score
baller.
50 3-pointers in February, which is completely possible because they're a good team, and they're gonna pony up $50,000. So that's another
huge.
Yeah, I mean,
So I take that bet with Syracuse.
yeah, we're going to the game tonight, so
It'd be cool if they could hit a free throw, actually.
Yeah,
but
yeah, they're doing all right.
No, they're doing good.
Yeah,
I was there Sunday, actually. It was fun.
Yeah, that was a good game.
That was a fun game, yeah. For sure.
But Colgate's doing it, and I don't think Syracuse is participating in the 3-point challenge, but Colgate is, and they're great, and they've got, I mean, most schools have around, they raise a couple of $1,000s,
Awesome.
Up to 10, 15, but there's a challenge right now that if Colgate gets more pledgers in the next week, they can win a $15,000 bonus, which would go to this area. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's something we got going on. Notre Dame had a coaches versus cancer basketball game the other night at the high school.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all things that we get involved in. And then we have relays everywhere. So we have the North Country in Boonville, Camden, Herkimer County, which has one at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds and one in Dolgeville, and then Madison County, which is in Oneida, and then of course Utica, which is at MV.
Well, so this is a huge territory.
Yeah, it's
That's
big.
That's a big
It
territory.
is. And it's nice. They're really good to us. And it gives us a really fun layout. It's a little different than, our past layouts on just the track and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so a typical relay started out in 1985 with a doctor.
Wow, that long ago, huh?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. 1985, and this is how it started. A doctor, Gordy Klatt, was inspired to run all night for cancer survivors that he knew, and to honor cancer survivors.
Where
and
was he at?
In Washington State.
Washington State.
Yeah. And so that's how it started. And then Relay for Life. So he ran all night around a track for 24 hours to in honor of cancer survivors and in honor of people that he had lost. And the next year, they were, a really kind of smart guy said, "Well, why don't we take that and run with it, or relay with it?"
No
and
pun.
yeah, and so then it became a thing. And the Relay for Life events are actually the largest fundraisers in the world. They raise, bigger than the breast cancer walks, bigger than any kind of. I don't know, what are some of the other bigger fundraisers that everybody knows about, but
Real Men Wear Pink.
Right. Well, that's going to be there. It's coming up.
It's getting there.
But, and it's not a race. Everybody thinks it's a race. I thought it was a race when I first heard about it, but it's just it's a walk, and you're supposed to walk on the track all night, and it's supposed to all day and night. And it's supposed to represent the life and journey, rather, of a cancer patient. So they get diagnosed, and we have this opening ceremony where all of our cancer survivors are there, and they're surrounded by all their loved ones and their caregivers, and they do a kind of a celebratory lap to kick it off, and then everybody that has teams is supposed to put somebody out on the track to walk, and so you just walk until the next person kind of comes and subs you out, tags you out. And then you do it all night, and the thing is, at night, you end up out on that track by yourself, and that's how the cancer patient feels. Sort of, they get all kinds of support right at the beginning of their diagnosis, and everybody comes out, but 6 months or 6 weeks later, they're sort of by themselves. They got their one person, their caregiver, or whatever around them, but everybody else is off living their lives. And so then the sun comes up, and everybody sort of comes back out, and that's represents the end of their journey and how everybody's kind of back around. So that's the premise and the background of a relay, and they've taken on many shapes and forms over the years, and some are no longer 24 hours just because life has happened, but they're still the number one fundraiser in the world.
And yours is just an overnight thing then.
Ours starts at noon, and this year instead of ending at noon on Sunday, we're going to end at 9, just because it sort of over the years has been done by then anyway. Most people have just kind of gone home, and so we're just going to let them go home,
Gotcha.
And then ideally we'll have our closing ceremony back at Saranac a couple days later, where we celebrate all of our accomplishments.
What a perfect spot.
I love it there.
That's a great place to celebrate accomplishments.
Absolutely.
My favorite place to celebrate accomplishments.
Why not?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it is Utica, right.
When in Rome.
Right.
Well, that's great. You guys are really busy, though. Girls, sorry, ladies. I always say guys. I don't know. I'm always.
You could say y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all.
No.
There you go.
It really works. So
I think it only works for you. I don't think it works for
Y'all.
the rest of us.
I just can't find that in my vocabulary.
I think once you get past Virginia, you can't say it anymore.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right past the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah.
And that's where it is.
No longer can say y'all.
Not when you say it like that. You
Yeah,
definitely
no,
can't.
That's the thing. I don't think any of us have like the right tone to pull it off.
Right.
Like I would love to be able to, but it just sounds funny coming out of my voice.
Right.
Right.
Same here. We're too
Y'all.
Italian.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Unless you can say it with your hands in the air.
Yeah,
you know.
right.
You can definitely do that.
I always say if they tie my hands together, I can never talk.
Can't. Somebody made me sit on my hands once, and I stuttered like never before. It was embarrassing.
I hear ya.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So we're busy. But
How do people get involved?
They go to relayforlife.org/Utica NY, and they'll find all the information for the Utica event. Or if they're not in the Utica area, they can go to relayforlife.org and put in their zip code, and one will pop up, because they're in Syracuse. They're all over the place. Syracuse is going to do something a little different this year. They're doing a Fight Cancer Fest, and that's in May, and they're doing it at Chevy Court at the fairgrounds. So that'll be different, but they're going to have bands, and there probably is going to be beer there. So it's just a little bit of a different vibe. But again, it's just, it still will honor cancer survivors and caregivers, and have team events and things there where the teams are doing some on-site fundraising.
Yeah.
Is there an unlimited amount of people you can have on a team?
Absolutely unlimited.
Just
You
as
can have
many?
all of
So
them.
from 1 to infinity?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
We got to start building a team chicken.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Build a team.
You can get. Oh, sorry. You can get your warm up at our Bark for Life event that Melanie mentioned earlier.
When's Bark for Life?
Bark
May.
for Life is May.
May 5th.
May 5th.
Yes.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
Yes.
But it's early, so you have plenty of time to do both.
Yeah.
And that's
Well-
only like an hour.
But yeah, I'm not Mexican, so I don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
I'm not Mexican either, but I love to eat Mexican food.
I
Yeah,
do
right.
too. And
There's
I
a lot of Irish people that aren't Irish normally, except for
St.
St. Patty's
Yep.
Day either. So
Don't get me started on St. Patty's Day.
and how many Catholics were celebrating Fat Tuesday last night, Or non-Catholics, I guess.
Yeah, not I.
Yeah.
Wow, yesterday was Fat Tuesday? Was it really?
Today's Ash Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to repent. It's Lent.
I repent every day. My whole life's in repent.
See, I like that. Us fat people, we got our own holiday.
Fat Tuesday.
Nice. You just eat and drink.
Yes.
Did you celebrate yesterday?
I ate and drank.
What did we do yesterday? We just hung out with the old mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't drink.
We ate.
Maybe we should crack beers open now. In
Went over
honor
to
of-
Danielle's. We ate some food at Danielle's.
There you
No,
go.
you're not allowed now. Now everybody
now-
goes sober for 40 days or 46 days or whatever.
That's blasphemous.
Not I.
Like, what? Sober.
Not I.
My dad told me he used to change the rules on us all the time. We would give up stuff for Lent, and then years later he said, "Well, you don't have to do it on Sundays." And I was like, "What do you mean you don't have to do it on Sunday?" He's like, "Yeah, your Sunday's your free day. You could if you gave up chocolate, you can eat chocolate on Sunday or whatever it was." And I said, "You're making it up." And then as he got a little older, he says, "Well, I'm 65. I don't have to do it anymore." I was like, "What?"
He makes up his own rules.
He makes up
Nice.
his own rules.
You get a pass on Sunday.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it was
that one
supposed to
either.
you were supposed to give it up for the entire time, right?
Right.
Like meat and all that.
Yeah.
And then it just turned to Fridays.
Fridays, right? And then as he got older, he's like, I don't have to. I'm old. I can eat meat on Friday. It's fine."
And I used to hang out. I have different types of friends, and there's some friends that were like, they do all illegal activities and swear and all this other stuff, but they wouldn't eat meat on Friday. I'm like, oh, that's your saving grace.
I got a few of those too.
I actually gave up Lent or meat for Lent and never went back.
See, I
20
gave up
years
Lent.
ago. You gave up Lent?
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I gave up Catholicism.
Yeah.
I gave up the whole religion
Yep.
period. I was like, yeah, after my Catholic school got closed in 5th grade, I was done with it. So it was, that was my pass.
Mine was communion. I mean, confirmation.
I never made it to confirmation. They kicked me out of the school. Like, you're gone. Get out of here.
I went to Catholic school to the 5th grade, and then it closed. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm not Catholic anymore.
That was
I
here?
have to go. Yeah.
What school
Mount
was it?
Carmel.
When
I
my
didn't know they had one there.
I'm old.
when my brother got
No.
married, he got married in a church, and he just looks at me and goes, "Dude, just go with it, all right? just please, just go with it." I'm like, "Don't worry." I'm like, he expected as soon as I put my finger into holy water, it just start bubbling.
Hey, Chicken, look, Mel brought us some Valentine's candy. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
yeah.
Happy
Happy
Hallmark
Valentine's
holiday.
Day.
You, want,
Yeah.
you want a piece of candy?
Sure.
No, you can't. You just got out of the gym.
Fine. Wait, I deserve it then.
Yeah, right? You've done your workout
You
today.
worked for it.
Yeah.
Killing it.
I
Killing it, kid. Killing it. Oh, wow. Now we are finally up on Facebook, guys. Yay.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to
35
We're
minutes
finally
later.
up, yeah.
this whole time I've been here, I've been trying to look up for the feed. I'm like, where the hell is the damn feed?
So where were we? We were just on your network?
Yeah, we're on Disruption. We're live on Disruption Network Facebook page. We're also live on Disruption Network YouTube and Twitch and Periscope and all those social medias that I can't keep up with. There's way too many of them.
I do Twitter and Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
I like Instagram.
Those are
I
the
do too,
three.
yeah.
But we have it set up so you just link them all into one. So it's, and I don't bother with any of them except for the Instagram. I love Instagram.
Yeah.
Because it's not political.
It's just pictures,
It's not,
right?
it's not
I like it
political.
too.
But how are you gonna know who is a Trump supporter and who's not? You know? How are you gonna know what Trump does? You know, if you
It's
don't.
that unfollow button. Thank you.
And how are you gonna know what people ate for dinner?
That's
Well,
Instagram.
that's Instagram.
That is Instagram.
That is
That's what I like. I like to see good food and babies and dogs, and that's
Right.
about it. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
Hilarious. But the Relay for Life, it's happening. How many parties do you have leading up to it? Do you have a couple, or is it just the one tomorrow at the brewery?
well, I already had one for Madison. We did that back in January at the Calet in Oneida, and then we did Camden's back in October, which was a little bit different and fun. Bob in my office had Rome's kickoff last night. And so tomorrow is Utica. And then at the end of March, we're doing Herkimer, and we're going to do a food cook-off. So you can come to that one.
I like food.
Yeah, it's their theme. So all of our relays have their own theme, just to give the teams sort of something to focus on and a way to decorate their tents. And, you know, it gets very festive, and you're very familiar. It looks like a festival. It's kind of nice, you know?
I've been to a couple.
Yeah. So that theme is Passport to a Cure. So it's an international theme. So we're asking a lot of local chefs and the Herkimer Little Falls area to participate and be our celebrity chefs and come in and, you know, sample the food, and we'll vote for the best one, and they'll be our Herkimer kickoff cook-off chef champion.
Let me know if you need a taste tester.
Okay, you can
I'll
come.
donate my services for it.
Please come. We want everybody to come out for that. That one's on March 26th at the Elks Lodge in Little Falls.
Nice.
Yeah. So they're all a little different.
You're well prepared.
Yeah.
It's all up here.
It's all, yeah, which is why I'm checking myself a little. But tomorrow is the Utica one, and that is at Saranac, and it's a happy hour. So it's just 5:30 to 7:30. It's come drink a beer, meet us, and no formal program. You don't have to sit down and listen to anybody talk. You just kind of come and get some information, find out how to start a team, what it takes, which is pretty easy these days. It's all online, you know, most of it, and maybe get some fundraising ideas, find out about Bark, and if you're a survivor, we have special stuff for all of our survivors.
Oh, cool.
And you know, really just kind of meet everybody. And that's what we're doing. It's a meet and greet.
It's a meet and greet. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now the Relay for Life, like when all the money's allocated, where does it go?
So research, education, advocacy, and services. Those are our main pockets of where the money goes. So research is obviously our biggest. And aside from the federal government, the American Cancer Society is the largest cancer researcher out there. And most of the research that we're doing or that we allocate money for are things that are too small to get federal funding. And they need a little bit more time they need the money so that they can get big enough to get federal funding. So we've had several in the like Buffalo and Rochester area, several researchers that have gotten grants from the American Cancer Society that have gone on to create treatments that cancer patients use. One of the biggest ones that breast cancer patients use is do you know it?
Oh man, I'm
Are you testing her?
I did. I totally tested. It's tamoxifen. And
I feel like
yep, just go with it.
It is.
Yeah, that's it. And
Tamoxifen.
that was developed by American Cancer Society funds. So that's our biggest one. Services we provide. The Hope Lodge is a big one. So like Rob actually. So we'll get to that in a second. But Rob is my husband's bass player in his band, and he just had cancer and beat it. Woohoo!
Nice.
Yeah,
But he lived in.
We're definitely.
Yes.
He gets a bell. Yeah, there you go.
He lived in Portland, Maine, or around Portland, Maine, but was getting treatment in Boston, and so he had to go there every day, 5 days a week, and it's 5 hours total. And so some days he would take the train, and the Cancer Society had a partner with the train for cheaper discounted train tickets.
Oh, cool.
So he could do that, and then if he needed a ride when he got to the train station to his to the hospital, we could provide a ride for that. So that's some of the services that we provide. Transportation and lodging are big ones because you know how it is. I mean, Rochester has great doctors, New York City, Boston, and people in this area want to go there and they need a place to stay, and we provide that place for free.
That's incredible.
With your money
Right.
that we're raising. So that's obviously a big one. Education aspect is treatments, getting screenings, colorectal screening, that's a big one in March. The HPV vaccination for kids that or people that are aged like 11 to 24. That's huge. That's the cancer that Rob had. If the vaccine had been around 20 years ago, or more, maybe he wouldn't have gotten that cancer, So those are big pushes that we're always raising funds for so that we can get the vaccines out there and make sure that people get them and get early screenings. Right. Wear sunscreen. Stop smoking.
Yeah.
Those things.
Yeah. The basic things, right?
Yeah. So
it's a lot, though, and education is key. I mean, you got to start it early in the schools, into the elementary schools, and it's important that everybody is knowledgeable on this horrible disease.
Right.
And there's a way to prevent it, too, like you said. There are some ways, like you said, stop smoking and eating well, too.
Right. Exercise, nutrition, very important.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't eat Monsanto food.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, right.
Grow your own food.
Grow your own, right.
But Monsanto seeds.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Who knows what the hell they're putting in our food, but
yeah. So that's and that's why we always we always need more teams and participants, and you can give obviously anytime, but we like the relay event because it's something fun to do, and fundraising. I mean, we say it all the time. Like, what do you like to do? Do you like to drink? All right, figure out a way to make that a fundraiser, And it's a simple thing where you could do for me, I would do a wine tasting where I would provide the wines and make my friends and family come over and donate $10 and we'll have a party. And then I've just raised, if I have 10 people, I've raised $100, whatever. Sometimes it's very, very easy to do it. Sometimes it can be a lot more complicated. People are planning golf tournaments and that takes a lot more work.
Yeah.
Asking on Facebook, also very effective. Mr. Real Man.
Yeah. Right. It is effective.
Yeah.
It definitely is. In fact, when I was doing my Real Men Wear Pink campaign, I was just going online doing live Facebooks, and people were donating money left and right. It was great. It was effective. It worked. So if you're out there raising money, I suggest you doing Facebook Live. It works. As we're live on Facebook right now.
And cancer is something that, touches everybody.
Everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Everybody.
unfortunately.
Very unfortunate. But it is something that everybody has to deal with at some point in time, and that's why I feel like, like a lot of people tend to give for that because, they were affected by it.
Yep.
Right, right.
Or currently being affected by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want your girlfriend to come out and walk the Survivor lap this year too.
All right,
sure.
she will. We'll make her.
That'd be awesome.
We got to make her.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She will get involved any way she can.
Right. She's a
She is-
badass.
Yeah, she is a badass, and she's also into the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and she's got pen pals, and she takes care of her peoples, and it's cool. It's like
But-
she definitely stays involved, and she's been a cancer survivor for over 20 years now.
Yeah.
God bless
And
her.
then
That's
she still
awesome.
stays active and involved with,
Yes.
with Make-A-Wish and stuff. So, happy Valentine's Day, Tori. Gave her a little rub. I'm going to give you a little rub later, too, baby. So.
Little.
But for now, we are eating candy.
We're eating chocolate kisses.
Yeah, no, what you guys are doing is great, though. Like, it's important to educate, raise money, and make awareness, and that's key when it comes to this bad, horrible disease that we're all affected by.
Right. We're getting there. We're making progress.
Yeah. Now, how much or how many people usually attend this Relay for Life? Is there an average?
I don't know. Oh, gosh, I don't know.
More than 500 people
Yeah.
easily, 500 to 1,000, throughout the day, because people kind of come and go.
Exactly.
So the beginning is always very busy because that's when we're recognizing all of our survivors and, for the first time. And then at night we do what's called a luminary ceremony, and that's at 9 o'clock. And we people can make white bags and decorate them in honor or in memory of their loved ones, and then we line those along the track and light them up, and it looks, it's
Bring
very
your tissues.
yeah,
Bring
it's
your
very
tissues.
moving. It's kind of impossible to get through dry-eyed unless you've got a heart of stone.
Chicken.
He's right.
I'm gonna make you cry. But no, it's very moving. And so they'll come back. A lot of people will come just for that. They just want to see the luminaries and put their bags out and in honor of their loved ones. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, throughout the day, we've got a kids tent. We've got
We're looking. We have a kids tent, and that's usually keeps the young ones pretty entertained. We're looking to bring back some more activities, not just our entertainment, music wise, but we're looking to do some like minute to win it games too. So that would be really fun that the teams and their participants can get involved
or
in.
anybody that's there.
Yeah.
I got an idea. On air meeting.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
This is where we do the Tommy Drama dunk tank.
We love dunk tanks.
We've had it in the past, and they're really good. I think you
I'm
need to
giving
bring it
myself a bell.
back.
That's
Yep.
a good one. I like
Yes.
it. Can we
So
set
now,
that up?
like, I
Yes.
have to see you guys there.
Please.
All
Like,
right,
it
so
has to happen.
we're scratching the wheelbarrow full of UC.
Dunk
I like
tank.
the dunk
I like
But you
the
could
dunk
do 'em
tank better.
both.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that not
you
only
could
well
come
Tommy
in-
Drama, there'd probably be a line down the block to dunk
Right.
him, but I'm sure I would probably half of that, and you would probably have like a quarter of that. So yeah, I'm sure we can raise some money for
Yeah.
that.
Oh, there's
Oh,
tons
yeah.
of people that love to dunk me.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah,
all.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know you, and I would do it.
Right?
Yeah.
See?
I would totally do it, and I would pay to dunk Z.
Yeah, there's line up.
Yeah.
They would line up for miles, but Tommy Drama, they would line up for years.
I would be in that line.
I
I like Tommy.
we can fluctuate the price, like make certain people pay more. You have to pay $20. You pay
Right.
$5. Yes. The answer.
And that can
that.
happen there, like, easily.
Yeah, that's definitely
Absolutely.
something. In Camden, they do one, and I love it. The high school kids put it together, and they make their teachers come over for an hour throughout the day. Like each teacher comes over, and the kids come. They come out of the woodwork just to come dunk their teachers. It's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They are busy all day making bank. It's pretty fun.
That's a good
I
idea.
mean, we could even get some names in there. You know what I mean?
Oh, we could.
We could get some good names in there.
Yeah.
Do we know anybody like musicians or anything? That would
I might know
maybe a
one or
few.
two.
We know a couple.
I know some popular ones too. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I like that.
Mo
That's
to
a
merrier.
good- Yeah. Oh man.
Oh,
Hey, Rob should come there for that. That would be great.
That would
I'm
be
sure
great.
people would line up to dunk. Well, no, now everybody would not want to dunk him now, but maybe back before they would have lined up to dunk him.
he's got a new release on life.
Yeah, totally.
Um,
I love you, Durack. Anyhow, it's Related for Life. Get involved. It's super important. I'm loving the dunk tank though. We got to
I
make
think that
happen.
should happen.
I'm excited.
When is this again?
It's June 9th.
June 9th.
So it'd be warm.
Nice and warm.
Yeah, it'd be warm.
Yeah.
But probably our luck, probably not. But
Right.
Right.
I know. It'll probably be pouring, but whatever. We'll put them in it. It's more
Right?
fun, actually.
It's gonna get wet anyway.
Absolutely.
You know?
I'm gonna check the future forecast, and it's gonna be about 78. My people are telling me.
I'll make
so.
sure to wear my nice white T-shirt so everyone gets a nice.
Yeah.
We've got water over there. They're ready to fill it up. We can fill it up all day long.
Now, does the Relay for Life? Do you guys do the Heart Run and Walk? Do you guys get involved with that at all? No.
No, that's the American Heart Association.
No, I know it is, but I was thinking maybe you should walk to try to get people to join your walk as well. You know, strengthen numbers, cross promotion, and stuff.
I don't know. They might get mad at us.
I'm
No, they
just
won't.
thinking this thing.
Why would they get mad at you?
Like,
I can't. That's your.
If you're walking, you're donating. You know?
No, I'm with
It's
it.
all for a cause,
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
I
and
think
it's
it's
far
great.
enough away. It's
Yeah.
March to June. I mean, why not get a team together from the
and
Cancer
maybe
Society?
you're sparking something. Maybe there's some talks there. You know,
I like
need
that
to
idea.
happen.
It's something we
We're all
get
about
involved
to
with
save
every
lives.
year.
You do?
We do the Heart Run and
Yes.
Walk every year. I've been doing it for like the last probably 7-8 years now.
I've been doing about 8 or 9. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a long time, and it's a great event. Everybody gets together, but why shouldn't you have some presence in it?
I
You know?
I can't think of a reason.
Have a booth set up in the what is it? The exhibition that they have there.
Expo.
The expo, yeah. Set up a booth in the expo and try to get people signed up for that. I mean,
so when are you going to join the committee for Relay
I'm
right
not.
now?
I
Because you're
have
giving
no
us some
time.
really good ideas.
I have no time.
We'll just keep coming here and he'll keep
All right,
sharing
that
his
works
ideas.
too.
Aren't they? And usually when I share my ideas on my show, people steal them anyway. So
That's why,
you
that's
can
why
have
we're
'em.
here.
Great. We'll take them.
Yeah, we'll keep coming back. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, you should get involved with because it is one of the biggest events in the
It
area.
really is. I
And
mean, it
last
has
year
been
was
known
so
to us, yeah.
last year was so cold, but they still had thousands of people walking and running and stuff, and it was bitter. I'm talking, it was in single digits.
Yeah, no, it was nasty. I remember. I watched it on TV. I didn't watch
And you know what though? Like if they're gonna come out there in the
You
cold,
were like 9 months pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
if people are gonna come out and walk in the cold, they're gonna come out and walk in the warmth.
Yeah,
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for
Like,
sure. We're gonna have some. We're also looking into the refugee center to get some of. They have a bunch of music groups over there that we're gonna have come out.
Oh, cool.
I'm
Yeah.
excited. You know, I would love to have different cultures show us their way of celebrating, especially celebrating life. So I've got a really sweet contact over at the Refugee Center. I talked to her really quickly about it, and I'm going to get in contact with her again and see what we can bring. And
Not rainbow though. Okay.
No.
I can show you how the Irish celebrate.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can.
And-
Family friendly.
And then the Italians, we just mangia.
Wow,
Exactly.
that's yes. I like
And there's
that.
usually plenty of that goes on too, because we've had food trucks. People work with food trucks and bring them in. We've had a couple different ones. I know who is it from the Grapevine usually comes in. I forget his
Louis.
name. Yes.
Yeah, he's great.
Usually
He's
there.
everywhere.
We've
I think
had-
there's
He is
I think there's
everywhere.
like 5 of him.
Yeah.
And like we don't know. He's got like 5 brothers,
Right.
and they just all everywhere.
Right.
And I mean, how can you not go grab a gyro? Like,
Oh,
come
yeah.
on.
Oh yeah.
He does it up over there.
Oh, so
That's
good.
my. See, those are my people.
Those are your
my
people.
dad's
So good.
Lebanese.
Yeah.
So
So good.
Yeah, I love the Grapevine.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a great spot.
I love all the Lebanese restaurants here. There's so many. of
There
them.
really
It's
is.
great.
They're all good. Karam's is
Karam's,
great.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
got to give some love to Albert too down
Yeah.
on Varick Street.
Zenas.
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 Yeah.
Their
Venetian, they're all
gyro
great.
bowls. Have you tried them?
My favorite.
Delicious.
Mhm.
Amazing.
I love going to Zenas. I love that place.
Yep.
Yeah.
One more time though, we got to mention you're looking for bands as well.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes, that is huge right now. I'm looking for bands to, again, donate their time. I know that's kind of like a thing.
They can have a tax write-off.
Hey.
There you go.
Usually we look for about, hour and a half to 2 hour slots, but I can work with anybody's availability. Again, we just ask that you be family friendly and really wanting to like get the crowd going.
Full on bands or acoustic
Either
or
or. We do
DJs
everything.
or
We've
just
had
whatever.
Yes.
The whole range.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
entire range. I mean, we've had dance groups in the past. We'd love to bring them back. I mean, Robert Channing, I've been trying to get a hold of that man for years.
I got his number.
Hook me up. I've been trying to get a hold of him for years. I would love to have his act come. Even stuff like that.
He's a busy man.
Magic. I know he is so busy. But whether it be magic, like theater acts even, like we'll do that. I would love to have a choir in the morning. So if anybody out there knows of a really good like upbeat choir that would be willing to perform Sunday morning,
Some
contact
gospel.
us. That would be really awesome. I would love to see that. I mean, what better way to wake up, especially for those that have slept over, and as they're getting ready to break down to, get some joyous music going. Like, why not?
Well, uplifting music.
Yeah.
I am volunteering our house resident DJs right now. East Beats and Biz. They're playing. Put them on the bill right now. Whether they like it or not, I'm signing them up.
All right,
They're playing.
excited.
Loves you.
Yeah.
Wait,
they're-
Ease Beats and
Biz.
you didn't do it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't do it. All right, Ease Beats and Biz.
Just doesn't
Sign them
sound
up.
right.
I'm sorry. Sign them up.
Nice. I will absolutely. We are
Right
gonna
now.
chat after this.
Sorry,
I'm gonna
Gabe, but you're doing it.
find out
I'm
what
making you do it.
what time slot we're gonna throw them into.
Yeah, whatever time slot they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point,
Later the
Wide
better.
open.
Absolutely.
Right, but that's fine. We
Right.
gotta go all
We
night.
have people that stay and they want something to like pick them up and go into the night with. You know, obviously, like once you get to a certain point, we got to talk about like noise, you know, quote unquote, whatever.
Wait, the Masonic home?
No,
No,
MV.
MV, that's right, MV.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Masonic-
But we have people that are
It's
dedicated
close to
to
my house,
being
too.
there
I love it.
overnight. Like, let's give them some fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's going the
Absolutely.
distance.
It's perfect.
Yes.
For speed.
Perfect. Love it.
Good one.
Awesome.
Cake, baby, cake. You know, it's perfect, too, because it's right around the corner from East One's house. So,
Oh,
boom,
right.
he's there.
I mean, crawl
I'm,
out of bed. Come
I'm
on
signing
over.
him up. You're in, Gabe.
I love this place.
I do too.
I was like, Bo, what's up, Bo?
Yeah, Bo. She's like, you know, you got to come to our party. I'm like, I can't come to the party, but come on the podcast and talk about it. You know, this is come on my party.
Yeah, I will.
You never got to experience the electric company, but you're experiencing the
I
EC
did.
radio.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're
that's
experiencing-
Oh,
right.
you've
This
never
is-
been to the electric company?
Well, she
No,
was
I
a
wasn't
Southern
here.
girl.
Yeah.
She was a Southern girl.
I've heard some shows from there though.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great time. It really was.
It's my blackout years, but we carried that whole vibe over to here, and it's much easier. I don't have to kick out drunk people every night on
Right.
the radio. so-
Well,
Sometimes.
depends on who we got in here.
Not as many anyway.
Sometimes they get into UC.
I mean, we
and
can
some
make
of the
that
vi-
happen if you need it to happen again.
if you're just feeling nostalgic for those days.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, we just crack open UCs and start drinking Jägermeister, and then we're all good after.
Whoa.
Yeah, you got to lower that. Dude.
Yeah,
yeah.
took me by surprise.
That's got to come down, please.
All right.
Yes.
Come
One
out tomorrow night.
One more time. Yes.
Please.
Talk about tomorrow night.
Come out tomorrow night and hang out with us for happy hour from 5:30 to 7:30 at the tavern at Saranac. There's going to be drink specials. Oh, I forgot that part. Yeah, discounted beers.
How could you forget that part?
Right. Sorry. And of course, it is also family friendly. So we have the sodas and kids, and we have snacks and tomato pies and all sorts of good, things to keep you there for a little while.
It's
and
a Utica party.
yeah, there's food and there's beer and
That's all you need.
tomato pie and Saranac, right?
That's it.
Yep.
Boom.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Maybe a little pizza free, Ooh, you need pizza free in Utica.
We're gonna put you on that task.
See?
I make terrible pizza.
You know,
You got 24 hours to get us a hookup.
Chicken. We just keep coming up with ideas. They're going to keep putting us to work. So enough.
all very true.
Enough with the ideas, pal. I think we give them enough tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight, today, whatever. So, anyways, tomorrow at Saranac. Mel, you're really good at keeping on track, too, by the way, because we so go off the
I
edge
know.
all the time. And so,
It's the-
steer us back in that direction,
I
Captain.
will
Go ahead.
do my best. No, I think we're, you got it. You did it. We're there. So, yeah, come see us. Maybe some local people will be there that people know, and they can harass and
Take selfies with.
yeah. Yes, you do. You can definitely do that. And yeah, come learn about Relay and give back. We can take sponsorships. You don't have to start a team if your business wants to get involved and, start a team or be a sponsor. We love those people too.
Yeah.
And we're always looking for sponsors and a way to partner with people.
Awesome.
So, yeah, come on down.
Yeah, we will be there.
Awesome.
We'll be there. Looking forward to that.
Can't wait.
One more time, though, they are looking for bands, too. So you are looking for bands, kid-friendly, family-friendly, maybe classic rock.
Yeah,
bands or something like
absolutely.
that,
Absolutely.
or
I mean, we've had a range, classic rock, country. I mean,
acoustic,
everything,
fun.
acoustic, everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're getting bluegrass.
I'm gonna make all my friends donate it.
Beautiful.
We're gonna make Jay and Nick do it too. I think they should do it too.
Jay, I'll give you $25.
There you go. Oh, see, he'll do that.
Nice.
He'll do that for sure.
Jay, that sounds like a good idea.
Yep.
Now I got to close it out with talking about the boys.
Okay.
Because
Let's do
last Friday or 2 Fridays ago was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm still on cloud nine. I think I'm still high from that show.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Talking about Mo and their return at the Capitol Theater. That was my first time at the Cap.
Love that place.
It's incredible. And
Yeah.
for those who've never been to the Capitol Theater in Portchester, you must go.
Yeah, it was in ruin. It was where the Grateful Dead used to play, and Jefferson Airplane and all sorts of everybody from the 70s, and then it sat ruined or in ruins for a while until Pete Shapiro came in and waved his magic wand.
He's a
and,
genius.
You know, he really is.
He really is.
And it's gorgeous. And you can 360 ceilings for all of the projections and stuff in there. The lights are incredible. It feels good in there. It's really nice. And that they went all out for Rob last weekend
They
and
really
Mo,
did.
or 2 weekends ago. It was amazing. I'm excited this weekend. We'll be at the State and in his hometown in Portland, Maine, and we'll see how, you know, I know he enjoyed it, but he's a little overwhelmed, but
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
sure.
in a good way, you know,
I'm
of
sure.
course. And it was
beautiful. It was such a magical night. The vibe in that place was unmeasurable.
Yeah.
You can't even put a verb on that vibe that night. It was just incredible. Everybody was so happy and chilling, and it was good because I didn't have to work.
Yeah.
And I got to see everybody for 3 minutes.
They were
I
happy.
saw everybody for like literally 3 minutes.
Yeah, I saw you for
for like 3 minutes. That's how it happened. It was all for like 3 minutes. So
there were tears,
but
happy tears.
there was tears. There was
Yeah.
tears. In fact, I had I got a little verklempt a little bit too. But
it was great.
it was great. The vibe was awesome. Mo is back. I'm so happy that they're back, and much love and respect out to my brothers and Mo. It was such a great night. Such a great night. I was bummed that I missed night 2. How was night 2?
Equally awesome.
Equally awesome.
It was great. And you know they'll be in Albany next weekend. So.
I'll be in Vegas.
Oh.
I'll be in Vegas checking out the second other band that I'm obsessed with.
Which one is
Steel
that?
Panther, baby.
I should've known that.
The greatest heavy metal band of all time.
You're so
Yes.
diverse.
Yeah, I'm so diverse. I'm so diverse. You got to come back, though, before the Relay for Life happens again, please.
Yeah, we're going to come back
I would
and
love
talk
to.
about our schedule.
Have more meetings, on-air
We
meetings.
can come back and tell you what bands. Like,
Yeah.
said, hey, we'll be there.
What other jobs they got for us?
Yeah. Well, so far we got dunk tank and music.
Yeah,
You guys
and a
are on it.
wheelbarrow
And a
full of
wheelbarrow
UC.
beer. All right.
This is a productive meeting today,
Great
ladies.
meeting, guys. See, your day just turned right around.
I love it. Very, very productive
Thanks, Z.
meeting. This was fun. Thank you so much, and
Thank
please come
you.
back really, really soon, and we'll take care of that and have a lot of fun activities going on for the Relay for Life. This is a good relationship for sure.
I like it.
We'll see you in a little bit. I got my buddy Rick Short that's going to be joining us in just a little bit. You hang. It's EC Radio.
We are a generation of lost masculinity, and we got to start getting it back. No matter if you're straight or gay, no matter if you stick it in the front or you stick it in the rear. For the love of our sons, we've got to stick it in there like a man.
You know what the hell you're listening to? It's EC Radio.
You have no education. You have no interest. You just do whatever reckless thing you want to do whenever you want to do it without regard for anyone else. Oh, and when you're not terrorizing the community with your impulsive escapades, you're being a total jerk to your family.
You're listening to EC Radio on the Disruption Network.
Hey, it's Adeline Van Dyke from Coldwell Banker Faith Properties in Utica. I always get asked, why do I love real estate? It's very simple. I love my clients. I love every single thing about helping them find or sell their home. Making sure the home is solid and ready for sale, or solid and ready for the buyer's inspection, to making sure that they're getting the best rate on their mortgage, making sure they're getting the best price on their house. You know, just everything involved in the sale is vital. My absolute favorite part of real estate is when a buyer walks into the house they're going to buy. I can feel it before they even know they're loving the house. It's just that obvious. So I'd love to experience that feeling with you. So give me a call. Adeline Van Dyke, Coldwell Banker Faith Properties, 315-404-6431. Or you can find me on Facebook or visit my website at centralnewyork.com/Adeline. Thank you, and I look forward to welcoming you home.
When it's your hard-earned money on the line that you are investing into a home, it makes sense to choose a proven professional to assist you in making one of the biggest investments you may ever make. Josh's dedication of over 20 years to the home construction industry allows him to bring knowledge and experience to your doorstep. That means you can feel confident and comfortable with his service to you. Past clients love his attention to detail and thorough written reports. By allowing Priceless Inspections to help you make a well-informed decision concerning your property, you will find that a quality inspection is priceless. Follow Priceless Inspections on Facebook or call 315-525-8725. In the Mohawk Valley, for the best real estate service, you gotta have faith. Coldwell Banker Faith Properties, 315-735-2222 or www.centralnyhomes.com.
EC Radio might not be suitable if you suffer from the following symptoms: daddy issues, irritable bowel syndrome, hypothermia, enlarged prostate, victim of a lost testicle, resting bitch face, slut shaming, a millennial suffering from social disorders, 80-year-old woman with osteoporosis, condescending listening face, arachnophobia, elephantitis, involuntary Tourette's, cocaine cold sore, sperm retention, Bell's palsy, high level of douchiness, unbalanced equilibrium, tinnitus, earwax buildup, and acidic vaginal discharge. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for calling the EC Radio Attitude Adjustment Line. Press 1 if you need a good slap in the mouth. Press 2 if you need a stern verbal lashing. Press 3 if you need a timeout. Press 4 to respond to the voices in your head. Press 5 if you need to talk to your mom. And if this is an actual emergency, please hang up and call someone who gives a shit.
YOLO, infidels, that's right. It's Hacker Hameen.
This is Al Schnier from the band Mo.
Hey, this is Corey Glover from Living Color.
And you're listening to EC Radio.
And you're listening to EC Radio.
Live on EC Radio with the Z-Man. So take the pizza out of your fat moron mouth. Sit back and listen before I give you a $5 face slap. You'll never forget, infidels. YOLO.
Order.
Disruption Network.
Oh, we're back, baby. What's up? It's EC Radio. You can check us out. DisruptionNetwork.net. All new website. It's up. It's live. It's actually a work in progress. So if you go over there right now, there's some things missing. But that is my job for the weekend, is to get that all up to date and looking all shiny and new. So you can check us out. All new website. DisruptionNetwork.net. Also, subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on Twitter and Instagram and all those social medias that you all have in the palm of your hands. That's it. It's that simple. The powers of technologies. It's amazing. It's me, Z. Chicken's here hanging.
What's up?
How you doing, buddy? You doing good?
Yeah, I had to get a water.
And I want to thank Mel and Jess for coming in from the American Cancer Society. We tagged them in, and then we tag in my good friend Rick Short.
I'm here.
In the mix. Rick, we know we've been trying to do this for a little while.
Long time.
Yeah, and I'm glad you can finally come in.
But you're elusive.
It could be my fault. It probably is my fault. Well, it's good to see you, man. Thanks for coming
I'm
in.
glad to be here.
Yesterday, we had former Mayor Tim Julian on.
Wow.
And we talked about a lot of politics.
Yeah.
And we touched a little bit on some positive stuff that's going on in Utica. Today, we got you on because I want to touch on the positive stuff going on in Utica.
There's a lot of good stuff going on.
There is so much good stuff going on. Now, first of all, when was the first time we met?
Oh.
Do you remember?
No way. There's no way to know.
I don't think I know either. It might have been the Urban Golfer or something. Was that it?
It could have been Utica Urban Golf. That's an early one, but I don't know if that was the one.
This was great, Chicken. He used to have this Urban Golf League with like these foam golf balls.
But they looked exactly like a real golf ball.
It did. It did. And these things, well, they flew pretty good.
Well, yes.
They did, but they were soft. You know, it was like a Nerf golf ball type of thing. And we would play in the middle of the streets and just.
We set up an actual golf course.
No, you did.
Yeah, it was all set up and it was good. And
we played all over, like down around the Odd, and then we went up over Varick Street, and then around and down Columbia Street, and just whacking this ball like you'd have to hit a telephone pole to get to the hole.
We had our own website and everything. We had a league. We had a scoreboard, and
it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. We should bring that back sometime. But that one lady though got kind of mad at us.
Nah, she didn't. She wasn't buying that. She was not going for that.
We were hitting the golf balls, and they were soft again. They were kind of like a.
Was this like an event or just something you just did?
Just
kind of
weekly.
Weekly, yeah. We kind of just got together and did it.
It was a league. It was legitimate.
It was legitimate.
But the problem is that if you see somebody hitting what looks like a real golf ball in the city street, any normal person would say, "Dude, that's not right. You have to stop." And nobody could see that it wasn't, and it was hard. We couldn't tell everybody in the community what it, so it really should have stopped.
Yeah,
it should have been stopped.
Okay, it was fun though.
Yeah,
it was fun while it lasted.
You still got these balls?
Yeah.
Oh, we could do this.
I stood like 10 feet away from my car and just drove it with all my might into the side of my car and didn't touch it. It's safe, but it doesn't look safe, and you don't want to disturb people. You don't want to get people riled up.
Right.
You just want to have fun. So we have to find a better way to have
And we
fun.
should do it at like Proctor Park or something.
Yeah.
You know,
JC was checking in. He says, "I remember that golf league." He goes, "Wasn't there a Masters jacket with the tire marks on it?"
Yeah, I made it. You know that Rhino spray paint? I got a jacket, and then I sprayed it with it so it looks like a road. And then I painted stripes down the back of it, and that was the prize.
Oh, that's for real? I
have
thought
it.
he was breaking
No,
balls.
I still have it. I should give it to Z.
Yeah, I'll take it. The only green jacket I'll ever wear when it comes
The
to
asphalt
golf.
jacket.
The
that's
asphalt
called.
jacket. That's right. That's hilarious.
Yeah, we went big with it. We covered most of the bases.
But I think we should do it maybe around Proctor Park or something.
Yeah.
We could do it, you know, because Proctor Park's pretty big. We could start over by where the basketball courts are and go all the way over to the
Get permission,
the big track.
you know, make sure that it's okay.
I say we do it as a bit. We do it in the roads. Screw it.
I wouldn't say that.
We'll get the intern to do it.
I'm officially done with this conversation.
You're exempt. You're exempt from this, but.
We even told the police. We stopped the police and said, "This is what we're doing." We gave it to them. Said, "Here's the ball. You can see." And do you remember there was one time we were on Varick Street, we were doing this, and all of a sudden a police car went flying by, and another police car, then a state trooper car. Were you there that night?
Yeah,
all
I
sorts
was.
of police cars were like racing all around, and one stopped in front of my. I was there and with my son Andre. We were at twosome, and he said, "Gentlemen, I can't tell you anything except for you don't want to be here right now." And we got in our car and just drove away.
I do remember that. Wasn't there like a homicide or something?
I don't know what was happening, but I didn't need to know.
Yeah, that was.
They did a nice job of protecting us. They said, "Don't just get out here."
Yeah.
And we did.
You
Take
didn't
your
tell me
golf and go home.
So you didn't tell me he was blocking your shot.
That's funny. Hilarious. But Rick, you've been really, really busy though.
Yes, very busy. Two things. Number one, my job at the Indium Corporation. Number two, with community service.
Let's explain to everybody what you do at the Indium Corp.
Well, I'm in the marketing department. I'm the vice president of a bunch of interesting, fun things. And one of the passions I have is marketing communication. I'm involved in that. I'm also involved with leading our technical support engineers. So they're diverse groups, but of course we're all one big team, so we're all working for the same thing. And we're hiring and hiring and hiring and growing and all sorts of new challenges, new customers, new situations. So it's just thrilling.
Yeah.
And it's a little tiring, and that's why I'm there. I don't want to be bored.
Yeah, I know. You've been an active one always.
I don't want to have a routine job. I want to be stretched and challenged. I want to have all sorts of excitement and variety, and I got it.
Explain to everybody what the Indium Corp does, too, for those that don't know.
Yeah, it's very, to me, it's very, very interesting. It was founded in Utica in 1934 by a chemical engineer as a materials science company. We're a materials company, and true to our mission to this day, all these many years later, we're still a materials company. We've all heard of the phrase Intel Inside, ingredient branding. You see that sticker on computers.
Right.
It's their way of saying inside of this computer, whatever brand it is, our product, Intel, we're in here. Well, we're in that food chain, but we're the company that's inside Intel. We supply to some of or virtually all of the world's leading technology companies the materials that they need to make electronic components, to attach electronic components, to help the components operate more efficiently. So, for example, if you look at a smartphone, the chances are that I've got products in 4 or 5 subassemblies in a smartphone. Or the monitors that you're looking at, I'm in those monitors. Or your laptop or your tablet. Automotive electronics, aerospace electronics. If your grandfather's got a pacemaker, I could be in there. We're in all sorts of high reliability electronics. We're the materials that are used to make the things that make that thing. So
you're like Cogswell Cogs.
Yeah, Cogswell Cogs and Spacely Sprockets. Yeah, we're inside of them.
Yeah.
So it's a long chain, and you'll never see my product out in the wild. We're inside the thing that's out in the wild. So it's an interesting business niche to be in. To be material in a thing that's in a thing. But it's a very good business. It's a great place to be.
Great business structure.
Yeah.
It's because you're not creating anything. You're just supplying the materials.
Like, think of it this way: if you go in your kitchen, you don't want a kitchen, you want food. So then you find a brownie, right? We're like the walnut in the brownie that's in the kitchen. That's who we are.
A little piece of the puzzle.
I just ate chicken riggies, and now I'm hungry again because I said that.
It's a lot of stuff, though, you guys are doing over there. And it's good. One more time, how long has it been in existence?
1934 we were founded.
1934?
By a chemical engineer. I was just interviewing some young women today, and one of them had said that she was so happy to interview with our company because she sees that we have a record of equality and just hiring by meritocracy, not what you are, but what you bring to the table. And I was proud to tell her that the very first person our founder hired was a woman. I mean, we just started that way. We don't care what you are. We don't care who you are. We just care that you can bring it and you're a nice person. Two things: nice person and capable.
Yeah. And you could deliver too.
And it made me feel good that this person I was interviewing, they're not drinking our Kool-Aid. They're not part of our company. They're coming to us, and that was one of the things she led with. Is I know that about you guys. That's why I'm happy to be here.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I felt proud of that.
Especially in this day and age where, and especially back then, like in the 30s.
The 30s,
I mean, that's pretty much unheard of.
Right.
Yeah, and in fact, I've been going through a lot of old records from our company, back from our founders' days. And this woman that he hired was Maria Ludwig, and her initials were MT Ludwig, and I see that she was allowed to handle a lot of technological, scientific aspects of the business, and she would send letters or even telegrams, and the people would always respond to MT Ludwig as Mr. MT Ludwig. There was no way they could imagine that it would be a female.
Wow.
But she showed them.
Yes, she did.
She was doing it. And to this day, we're just full of people that can bring it. That's all that matters.
That's incredible. And how many people you employ?
We're approaching 900 right now.
900?
Yeah.
Wow. Just in Utica?
No.
No, it's worldwide.
Yeah, we're approaching about 400 in this area, and then we've got facilities all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have, in Utica, we have a facility on Lincoln Avenue. One of our earliest, not the earliest. The earliest was in this founder's garage. The classic technology company story.
Yeah,
right in his garage. And he just got so big he had to move down the hill into this building, which we still operate. He did that in the 50s. And then we're in the Utica Business Park. We're in Clinton, where our headquarters is, and there's another factory in Clinton. We're in a facility in Rome, New York. We're in Chicago. We're in the UK. We're in Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, China.
Wow.
Various places. And then we have a lot of people that have their they're like sales engineers, so they work out of their home office, so they're like all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Vietnam, Philippines, South America, Mexico, etc.
Do you yourself do a lot of traveling?
Yeah, not anymore. I used to a lot. We measure our travel by how many nights of the year that you're in a hotel room. And for about 10 years, my number was 65%.
Wow.
Yeah.
For 10 years.
And that was almost exclusively in Asia. So I would spend 65% of my life in Asia. But based here, I love being here. So I got to ski and cardboard sled race and urban golf and stuff. I can't be out of the action. So,
are you fluent in Chinese?
No, I'm dangerous in Chinese. This is a great language story. You know when you learn a language, you think about it and then you say it. It's not your main language, so you got to kind of get yourself in the groove. And they say that the best way to tell a native speaker is how they react under pressure. Well, one day I was walking down the street in China, and you know how that thing happens when you're walking towards somebody on a sidewalk and you move right, but they move the same way, and then you move the other way, and they move with you. And we just kept walking forward, and pretty soon this beautiful young lady and I walked right into each other, and I'm embarrassed. And so, of course, I say, excuse me, only I say it in Chinese, and I say their word for thank you, which is kind of a rude thing to say, And as soon as I said, I said the wrong thing. And that's how I knew I wasn't a good Chinese speaker.
Better to bring the interpreter along with you,
yeah,
right?
I needed a lot of help right there.
Do you bring an interpreter with you everywhere you go? Like when you're out
no,
there?
almost nowhere. Our staff, we have, first of all, when I started going there many, many years ago, back in the 80s, I just went and we had a sales agent over there. So they don't work for our company, but we hired them as a contractor. And they were very helpful. They were very nice. They spoke English and they helped me. But as we started hiring our own staff, we made sure that they were bilingual, or at least bilingual, if not multilingual. And so then we would just drop in on them, and they'd take us wherever we were going, and we'd handle it that way. So we've never had that problem. The people that we deal with as engineers and technologists and scientists almost all speak English.
Oh, okay.
Everywhere, all of our customers are just like so smart and sophisticated that they got it covered. So I can just be a bumpkin and stroll in speaking English, and they accommodate me.
Now, before you came in here, you're saying you're looking for people. You're looking to hire.
I'm hiring like crazy.
You're
yeah.
hiring like crazy. Now, what are you hiring for?
Well, we have when you think of a manufacturing facility, you think of the classic factory job, and you probably conjure up images of flash dance and stuff like that, and it is so not like that. To run a business of our size, we need so many kinds of people, from receptionists to people in the legal field to HR people to accountants and financial people, logistics experts and process engineers, manufacturing engineers,
This is
marketing.
local?
Yeah, it's all right in this area. Marketing people and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just so many kinds of people. People that work in the shipping department and materials handlers and warehouse people, HVAC specialists.
Wow.
It just goes on and on and on and on. We
That's a long list of.
We build our own buildings. We manage the HVAC ourselves. We do all of our wiring and electricity, and we design and build our own process equipment. I mean, if you make for example, if I were to say to you guys, let's sell wooden baseball bats, we could easily go into that business. And if we were good at it and started something really cool, anybody else could easily go into that business too. There are no entry barriers. You need a lathe and a piece of wood. If I said, let's make a coffee shop, we could go to Flea Hands and buy some stuff and we'd be in business, right? But so could anybody else. The entry barriers are really low. You don't make a lot of money when you're in a business where there's very low entry barriers. So most of the products that we make, we try to make things that nobody else in the world can even make, or they can't make it anywhere like we do. So as a result, most of the things we make don't come out of a machine that you buy off the shelf. A lot of times we come up with the idea of the product, then we have to figure out what would make that. How could it be made? Then we either buy a machine that we modify wildly, or we just design something ourselves. So we need design engineers. Then we need machine shop and tool makers to make these pieces and parts that become the machine. Then we need engineers to operate it. We've got a lot of robotics and automation, so we need people to train our staff with that. We need people to set them up or specify them or purchase them or maintain them. So yeah, those people. All those people I just said, we need those.
Wow. So if anybody's looking for a job out there and is listening to this podcast or webcast, how do they get in touch with you?
Indium.com/jobs.
And there's like an application right on the website?
The jobs are all listed there. These are just for the jobs in North America. There are other sites if you want to apply, like in Singapore or England or Germany or whatever. But if you're from Central New York, just go to indium.com/jobs. There are a list of the titles, and then you click on this one link, and it tells you more about it. You click on the other link, and you can apply. And you can make an account on that site, and then you can apply for multiple jobs out of your account, so you don't have to type in the same stuff over and over again.
Is it all different shifts? Or do you have like is it like 24-hour type of thing?
Yes,
or?
we have some jobs on third shift and second shift, primarily first shift, but there are jobs for all around the clock.
Okay.
So that's indium.com/jobs?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the shorthand for it. There's actually a longer URL, but that redirects.
We have a few people in-house, not in-house right now, but that are around that are looking for jobs. So maybe we can pass along some information.
And we're looking for cool people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of cool people, yourself doing a lot of cool things in the community.
Yeah, I try.
You do some you do. Like this whole hashtag, This Is Utica. I love it. I use it often. Utica Rocks, something you've been using for years.
Yep.
You've been playing music for a long time too.
Yeah.
Around, are you still playing music?
Yes.
Are you?
Just played in the Stanley.
Oh yeah, duh. I was there.
Yeah. you and I hugged each other.
Yeah. That's right.
We set up this meeting. you sound like me.
Duh.
You sound like me. I'm a little bit confused sometimes.
This is what happens when I work 4 jobs and run my own business too.
Yeah. You're juggling a few balls.
Yeah, a couple 2-3, right?
Yeah.
But are you playing more? You got upcoming gigs too, or
not right now? I'm trying to finish my third CD, so I'm trying to get some things together for studio activity.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it distracting to be performing out and studio work. They're two different mentalities to me.
It is. The studio humbles you, right?
Yes.
Like you listen back and you're like, oh wow, I suck.
Yeah.
It does for me. Like there was one time we were recording at Big Blue, and I just walked out of there like bawling my eyes out almost.
Yeah.
Like I suck. Just this whole self-loathing thing going on.
Giving your guitar away.
Yeah,
Here,
right.
Take this.
Here, take this. And Jeff's like, just go home, sleep, come back tomorrow. It's a whole new day. And he was right. He came back the whole new day. And
there are two kinds of ways to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to open this whole discussion up by first of all saying I'm not comparing myself to anybody, especially the Beatles. So don't make that mistake. I didn't say that. But just take these individual tracks from Beatles recordings, and you can find so many not right things, off the grid tracking and mistakes, or they're dual tracking their voices and they come in at different times and all sorts of problems. and they're just incredibly awesome.
Yeah.
So sometimes we get down on ourselves because I didn't play that right, or I was a little behind the beat on this, or my dynamics weren't quite right. That's not the big deal, but that's what we tend to beat ourselves up about.
Yeah.
The big thing is, like, have a really cool song and bring passion. You've heard, how many times have you heard somebody singing, a famous person, you say, he's not a good singer, he's an excellent vocalist, right? You don't have to be a great guitar player, a great singer, but you've got to bring passion and you've got to have a good song.
And feel.
Yeah, that whole passion, that vibe of the energy. Somebody just sent me some studio recordings, and it was all so good, but the lead vocalist was not sure of himself, or he just was like halfway into it, and it was just, to me, it wasn't good, because that soul was missing. That technically everything was right.
Think of like some like my favorite vocalists. Technically, there are a lot of people that say their voices aren't good.
Right.
You're like Seeger, like he's got
Of
a
course.
scruffy voice.
Yeah.
You know, like
Bob Dylan.
Yeah, the guys from Cracker. You know, like their voices are rather plain and scruffy, but the way they bring it, you know, and sing it, it's great.
And Dylan's a perfect example. He's not a good singer.
Right.
He is just the quintessential vocalist, because not only does he bring it and believe in it, and his song and message is so good, but he's relentlessly passionate about what he's doing, to the point where now he owns that space. Everybody else is a Dylan impersonator. He's the god.
He was a great songwriter.
Yeah,
right.
But
That's what he was.
If you break it down and just listen to his vocals, did I get that track right? I mean, there were people back in his day that thought, is this serious, or is he kidding?
Right.
Like Joe Cocker.
Until they got him, until they got it.
Right.
And then he's the definition of awesome.
And then he went electric, and the whole world ended.
Yeah.
Everybody went nuts when Dylan went electric.
Some guys weren't happy with him.
I mean, you look at some of these guys, like Tom Petty wasn't a great singer.
Exactly.
But
He's not a good singer. He's a
Right.
great vocalist, because
Exactly.
he owns it.
Right. He's distinctive.
Yeah.
And he got that distinctive voice, and what you mean by vocalist,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But great songwriter, though.
Yeah, so
He
don't
wrote hits for years.
Don't feel
Right.
too bad when you walk out of there saying, "Oh, my chops aren't up." Like, just be an animal.
Thanks for the encouragement,
Just be an
man.
animal, because that's what we're buying, right? That's what the audience wants to hear. Is just some guy who's totally loving it. You've heard these there's some women that come to mind that when you hear them, you just say, "My gosh, that's the real deal." When you hear the performance, like, yes.
Well, what's her name? Janis Joplin.
Right.
You know, like, you would never
Right.
say she was a great singer.
If she auditioned for your chorus in college, you wouldn't hire her.
Probably not.
No.
But with her, it was all soul.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
it's just
saying.
like you can hear the pain in her voice.
That's
when
what I'm
she,
saying.
When she belted out.
I'll put Melissa Etheridge right up there, too.
And there's
with
nothing
that.
like them. Mostly because the rest of us sheep are afraid to go there because it's not cool, or I don't get it, or whatever, blah, 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 all these dumb excuses. She's just out there waving her freak flag.
Yeah.
That's what you got.
And people loved it.
Yes.
You know? And I think that, like, you kind of get that, I could sing that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, you know, when you listen to these guys that are, like, super talented, like, singers, like, you know, we mentioned, like, Bruce Dickinson and, you know, Jeff Tate and some of these guys, you're not going to sing along to them and feel like you're singing like them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but, like, Janis Joplin and some of these, like, you feel like you can kind of do it. You know, you feel like you can kind of be a part of it.
Yeah.
The passion in her voice and
Yeah.
the pain in her voice is what made her stand out from everybody else.
Right.
Grace
Yeah.
Slick was like that too.
Right.
Grace Slick had that kind of distinctive voice as well.
And when you
too.
listen to Janis Joplin's story and you listen to her tell where she came from, I don't mean her town or her being born, but where it came out of, it's just from being ostracized and disrespected and stepped on and kicked out. And she just basically said, "That's your scene, but I'm going to show you mine.
Right.
I'm not buying into your stuff anymore."
Mm-hmm.
She just carved out this whole new place. So when you walk out of the studio, that's all you need to ask yourself. Am I doing that?
Is Janis Joplin the original redheaded stepchild?
You know, probably, yeah. You know what I mean? Like that, you know, like you've seen, like, now, like, you know, you have Courtney Love and some of these sleazier women, you know, like.
She's still around.
Yeah, is she?
Anyway.
But you know what I mean? Like, whereas Janis Joplin, like you said, like, she came from a grittier part of town. You know what I mean? She wasn't.
And even they wouldn't have her.
Right. You know,
True.
like, but like now, I mean, she's an icon, but she kind of opened a door for a lot of women, I believe.
Every one of them.
Of course.
Everyone. You go ask Ann and Nancy Wilson, who's their influences. Before they say Led Zeppelin, they're going to say Janis Joplin.
But I think Ann Wilson has a phenomenal.
Oh, I
voice.
love the Wilson sisters. How could you not?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I think they're the best women in rock.
Barracuda still gets me every time I got Crank It Loud.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
A friend of mine saw them just a while back before they stopped performing together, and he texted me and said, "You cannot believe this. They have still got it." He
Oh,
said,
yeah.
I feel like I'm 18 again. He said.
Oh yeah, they were for a while there. They were doing a whole Zeppelin set
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
They were out there doing the first set like Led Zeppelin. The second set they come out and do their hits and stuff.
See, I think without a Janis, there's no like Joan Jett.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's none of that.
Oh yeah,
You know.
Oh, absolutely.
It all, everybody wants to find the root of it, the beginning of it. But there's one on top of that, and there's there's one before her, and there's one before her. It goes way back. It doesn't. There's no end to it.
It's a chain.
Yes.
It's an endless chain. You're right.
Just like people want to find, well, where's that one moment where rock and roll was born? Well, there's
way
not
too
a
many.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's too much. There's too many layers that are all interconnected.
Yeah.
There was somebody before her, and there was somebody before her. And that's what's cool about all of us, because like we're preceding people. We're role modeling for somebody else, even in just small ways, in our humble ways. We're part of that fabric, and somebody's going to spring up 10 years from now, and all these little things are going to do something to them.
Well, look at what Madonna did. You know what I mean? Like when Madonna came out, then you had, you got Lady Gaga, you got,
She
Christina
influenced a lot,
Aguilera.
yeah.
Like she brought a lot of that, and she.
Britney.
Yep. That moved the women to the forefront. You know.
And not just as a female performer, but as somebody in control.
Right.
Anybody, not just women, but any person watching Madonna has to walk away saying, so you can kind of do it yourself. You can give the man the finger and get away with it, and you don't have to just say yes, sir.
Push the barriers.
Yeah.
She did too, man. She was.
Push. They kicked them down.
She was. Yeah.
And
she
then
did a lot of
everybody in
crazy stuff.
this industry, they want to cultivate your image, and then they want to stick to it and keep you what you are.
And that's the
And
unfortunate.
Madonna said, like, no, I was A, now I'm B.
Yeah.
And as soon as B got kind of interesting, she was C.
Uh-huh.
To me, Lady Gaga really jumped on that concept and took it from there.
I always joke. I say Madonna's Lady Gaga's grandmother. Because like
in a lot of ways that's true.
They're from the same cloth.
Right. You could tell she directly took a lot of Madonna's influence and obviously brought it to a whole different level.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the extravagance. Nobody brought the extravagance like Madonna, and I feel like Lady Gaga is that next extravagant.
She is. She's already there.
And
I would say she's already there.
But remember, I want to make sure we all agree, or at least say this, is that you can say that about Lady Gaga and make it sound like she just rode on Madonna's coattails, but that woman is incredibly talented.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
100%.
You cannot take that away. No, but I know you're not.
100%.
And secondly, her attitude and her persistence and her hard work and her just refusing to give up. That's something that most people just don't have. A lot of times people say, "Oh, you just got to get lucky. You got to get the right break." Well, yeah, that and 2,000 other things that most mortals don't possess.
Right.
And Lady Gaga is. Just do some research. Anybody listening to this, and you'll see she's absolutely a monster.
And she's
talent-wise.
Yeah, and she's crossed over in a lot of genres and stuff, and she's great. She really is super.
She got up there and
talented.
sang with Metallica.
Yeah.
And it's true that she copied Madonna's basic procedure to some degree.
Right.
Made it her own. There's no question. And Madonna copied somebody in some way.
Absolutely.
Right. But this day and age, I mean, and Lady Gaga came out where it's been enough time since Madonna was doing her thing, where it's not like a direct, people are like, oh, Madonna just did that 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, right.
So it's been like, 20 years since Madonna was really doing her thing like that. But, and Lady Gaga is doing it right. You know what I mean? She's not like a cheap knockoff. We had a couple cheap knockoffs come along. I think Christina Aguilera tried stealing some of Madonna's.
Yeah, but she's so talented, though.
She is.
She's amazing voice.
But she didn't take the shtick
No doubt.
as far as Lady Gaga did.
I feel like Christine, she grew up, kind of. Like, she kind of got out of that realm, and now she's her own.
Right. But she tried taking that Madonna route, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then,
to a degree, yeah.
When she was younger.
But I feel like Lady Gaga really owns it. Like the whole showmanship, the whole the extravagance, the pushing the barriers, and
right.
with the whole homosexuality, embracing that and trying to wave the flag for them, just like Madonna did within Vogue, the Vogue videos and stuff like that. And I feel like this was a probably a really good time for her to do that, and that's why she's, having such huge success, because that whole thing with Madonna kind of faded out. All the women were getting like real kind of trashy and like not wearing any clothes. Like what's her name there?
You make it sound like it's a bad thing.
Well,
but isn't that
there's no
isn't that the way
imagination.
things work? There's a pendulum, it swings. There's this weird thing, and everybody runs to it, and then it gets weird over there, and everybody runs to that, and in the middle, it gets kind of boring. It gets formulaic, and the businesses are trying to copy and paste. So every once in a while, you need this fresh, new, strange thing.
Like Cyrus, there. What's her name?
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus. When she came out there and did the music awards, and she put on this like, it was like, what am I watching right now? This doesn't even make sense. This is terrible. You know what I mean? But then you get somebody like Lady Gaga who puts on a huge show, but it's fun to watch. It makes kind of sense. You know what I mean? Like it's
maybe a little more depth behind it rather than just look at me.
Yeah, look at me wearing next to nothing with my tongue wagging out.
Yeah.
You know,
Ricky, you didn't think you'd come on the show talking about Lady Gaga and Madonna now, did you?
This wasn't in my preparation. I don't have notes for this.
There was no show prep on this.
I'm winging this one.
Story of my life, winging it. But I want to talk about the positive things in Utica. Like I said earlier, we had Tim Julian on. We're talking about the politics of Utica, but I want to talk about the positive things. There's so many positive things that are going on in Utica, and I feel it starts with the Comets.
Do you?
I think the whole Utica pride, the whole uplifting of the nature and just the whole pride thing starts with the Comets. And when the Comets came into town, you started to see this sense of, hey, Utica's pretty cool.
There's no question that was concurrent with what seems to be the modern era of this enthusiasm and energy.
Because it's only been a couple of years if you think about it.
Right. It wasn't that long ago that it was May. We were outdoors in shorts walking into a Comets game because they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I'll tell
was
you,
great.
That was great.
I've been in this town a long time, and I've never really felt the pride in this town until the Comets came in, and they were, going to the championship games and stuff, and everybody was pro Utica.
Sure.
And you were proud to actually be from Utica. So I agree with that.
But here's the thing. That happened. Like, that's over with.
Mm-hmm.
That's yesterday. That's like your trophy on the shelf over there. Like, yeah, I did that, but what have you done for me lately? And we have to stop. I don't mean to say stop talking about it, but we have to stop leaning on that sort of thing. We have to make tomorrow this evening. We've got to do something tonight so that tomorrow morning when we wake up, all of our friends say, no way, that's awesome. That happened. We've got to keep this ball rolling, and we are the ones. Everyone listening to this, everybody out that door on the street, they've got to put their shoulder into this because we can't rely on a dozen things that happened. We got to keep steamrolling ahead. It's over. And when I look around the city, what I see is a very large number of people that are really smart, really enthusiastic. They're educated, they're passionate, and they've got ideas. And so, as I get older and less meaningful in the physical sense, I've even stopped skiing these last couple of years. I hate that about myself. I stopped whitewater kayaking. I hate that too. But what we've got to do is we have to light up all these thousands of young people, and enable them and empower them and encourage them. If you think that a handful of people can get the Comets going and make that happen, and that's the spark or the piece that we can hang a lot of cool things on. If you think that's good, what do you think would happen if we've got like 6,000 people doing related things and high energy things and impactful things? Like let's use what happened, but make more happen. Like I'm all for pointing to it and saying that's cool and that was right there. That was standing.
I
right
see where you're going.
That's ground zero. Okay, I'll give you that.
Keep the fire going.
But like, what about today?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so fortunate to see what I'm talking about. I'm involved with the Proctor and Utica College Young Scholars Program. This is a program that selects students with high promise, and it just surrounds them with focus, with people paying attention to them. And as a result, you've got hundreds of kids now in Proctor that are so engaged, so enthused, so bright, and so willing to just push and push. You'll never hear about that on the news. You'll hear about Joey robbed a candy bar out of a gas station on the corner. That's what kids are today.
Somebody
they're
stole
a bunch
shampoo
of
from
hoodlums.
Walmart.
Yeah, they're a bunch of hoodlums. I can take you down the road here and point you to hundreds of kids that'll make you say, what is going on in this city? This is ridiculously good, right? Come with me over to the Midtown Utica Community Center. It's a place I refer to as the place to go for good kids who want to stay good. Kids in this town know where the bad stuff is. It's not a problem to find it.
Right.
I'll show you a bunch of kids that want nothing to do with that, and they want to do all sorts of really positive, good things for their community. Many of these kids are of very humble means, and the first words out of their mouth is, what can we do? How can we help? They're smart kids. They're all talking about going to college. They're all talking about changing things for the better. So I'm very fortunate where I'm just bathed in all this energy of all these high school and college kids that are just so positive, so dynamic, so driven. And the next layer I'll add on to that is that I'm very fortunate to work with a lot of refugee students. And I have heard so many times different kids, different years over the years, say things like, it hurts me when I hear people say bad things about Utica. I love Utica. Utica's a really great place. And then they'll start enumerating the things that they love and the things that have benefited their families and themselves. And I'm sitting here thinking, how dare I or anybody say something disparaging, just in an off way, about their community when they're telling me how great it is and what they're going to do with it. Now, we all agree there are things that could be made better. We all agree there are things that are bad. I just hit a pothole the other day that, like, I think I lost a tooth. We've got, and there are things way worse than that. I'm making a kind of a joke. We have a lot of problems. Everybody does that.
Every city does that.
I have been so fortunate in my life because of what we talked about earlier, to travel all over the world. Not once. I didn't go on 2 trips. I mean, literally every month for 10 years, I was someplace else in the world for a couple of weeks. And I know what Paris is. I know what London is. I know what Munich is. I know what Shanghai is. I know what Tokyo is. I know what Seoul is. I know what Singapore is. I've been to Jakarta and KL, etc. I've been to these places many, many times. They're awesome. They're great. They're just like they show you on TV when you're having your dream vacation. But they've got nasty little places, and they got bad people, and they got bad things. They've got potholes. They've got crime. They've got prostitutes. They've got drugs. Somebody just got shot.
It's like Orlando. You know, everyone like flocks to Orlando for vacation, but if you ever go down Orange Blossom Trail, you're gonna want to lock your doors.
So you can stand here and look out that door and say, I'm going to show you 5 bad things in Utica, and I can do that in any place on this planet. And so what? Big deal. That's like saying that the sun rises in the morning. Like, no kidding. What I challenged us to do is to look around for the things we can leverage, whether it's a not good thing that we're going to make better, or a really great potential that we're gonna actualize or help enable. Other than that, you're just knocking it down. You can knock anything down. If you just choose to knock Utica down, well, thanks for picking on us. You could do that anywhere.
Well,
you're not adding any value.
I think it's an inherited trait that, like, for years people have been bashing Utica. People who live here, like, I've heard it for many years. Oh, Utica sucks. Like,
if you lived in St. Louis, you'd say the same thing. If you lived in Oakland, you'd say the same thing. If you lived in Boston, if you lived in Manhattan, if you lived in Brooklyn, if you lived in Tampa, you'd hear the same thing. We're not unique.
And so many people were waiting for Utica to make it better for them. Like, let's bring in more businesses. Let's bring in this, instead of them themselves looking in their own backyard and saying, how can I make things better? And I feel like that's changing now.
Do you remember when Cornell had that Rust to Green project here, and they were talking to our community, learning about our community from a point of urban development? They held a meeting where they were trying to wrap things up, and they had it at the Munstitute. And we were all sitting in the auditorium, and the Cornell Rust to Green people started presenting. We noticed this, we see this, we analyzed and measured this. And they started pointing out some issues that should be addressed in their opinion. And I was sitting relatively to the back of the room, which is unlike me. I usually have to get right up front so I can focus. And I noticed all these people in front of me getting agitated as the Cornell people started listing this bad thing and that bad thing, and this is an issue and that's an issue. This should be addressed. And you could physically see that this gruntledness and the irritation throughout the room was rippling around. And finally, somebody expressed what a lot of people were thinking. They said, yeah, you can point all this bad stuff out, but what are you going to do about it? And the person from Cornell said, oh, you think we're going to do something about this? We're from Ithaca. We're leaving tonight. This is your city.
That's what they said?
You have to do something about it.
Good.
Yes.
I'm glad
I almost stood up and applauded, like, yes. Come on, Utica. At least naysayers. I know it seems like most of my friends are all like very positive energy people, but I know there are a lot of people that are kind of like that. waiting for the cavalry to ride over the hill. It isn't coming.
If you're complaining about something without an offered solution, you're just whining.
Yeah, the cavalry's not coming, so get up and do something. The worst thing that we encounter is the dude who says, I've been living here all my life, and this place stinks, and you can't get a job, and people are no fun, and blah, 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 blah. And my response to that is, you're obviously a smart, astute person. You obviously know what's up. You're living in a bad place all your life. Why don't you just get up and move?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you're not as smart as you think you are, or maybe it's not as bad as you say it is.
Right.
I mean, how can you possibly explain your incredible self
Make a difference.
bathing in this horribleness?
Right. Don't you want to make a change?
Yeah.
If it's so bad
Yeah.
for you, why wouldn't you want to make a change?
Or maybe you're not as smart and as astute as you think you are. Maybe you need to take a step back and kind of assess it better.
Well, because everybody wants to fix it for them. Fix my city
And
for
it'll
me.
never
Fix
happen.
this for me.
It'll never happen.
You see it with the government, too. Like, people get on their Facebook and whatever, and they want the government to fix things for them, and they're not willing to get their hands dirty and do it themselves.
And those are the people that refer to the government as they and them. The minute any of us talk about the government as they and them, we're abdicating our role as citizens, because the government isn't them. The minute you make it them, then they are in charge.
And that was,
it's got to be us. When you talk about the government, you have to say my government, me, we, us. We own that street. We own the sewer. We own the park. It's our government.
And that's one thing I did take away in the last election. I was a Bernie supporter, because Bernie, every time he said it, he said, we are going to do this, we are going to do that, whereas Hillary and Trump were like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And just that little bit right there tells you the difference in the world. They're in it for themselves, whereas like when you said, hey, we are going to do this, and we're going to do this, now you're bringing, like, it's everybody. It's not just my country.
Because it really is everybody.
Right, exactly.
Until we say they and them. Once you give it away, they're not giving it back. We're living that now. The government is not turning to us and saying, well, you know what we ought to do is we ought to kind of abolish these parts of our government and put the people more in charge. They're not saying that. They're taking more and more control and responsibility away from us. And now we're living in the state of New York, where it's like the Hunger Games of politics. He just magically bestows $1 million on you, and he throws $2 million over at you, and he's awesome for giving us this money. It's our money.
Mm-hmm.
He took it from us by law, and now he's good because he's throwing some of it back at us, and we go, yeah, that's good.
Thanks for the bone. Yeah.
We've got it all wrong now.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got to get back on top of it. And it starts at the grassroots. It starts standing right in the corner here, looking out and saying, I know a girl named Maria, literally right around the corner. I'm going to make her life better. That's where it starts. You cannot wait for them, because they're not coming to save you, and there's nobody else coming to save us.
You got to do it for yourself.
It's just us.
You got to do it,
And the people that have this positive spirit, we've got to work together. We've got to
Right.
band together. We've got to be transparent. We've got to communicate. We've got to tell each other what we're doing.
And that's the biggest problem right now, is the lack of communication and the lack of
Especially
compromise,
in the internet
too.
era and the social media era. How
Right.
can that be a problem? But maybe it is.
But locally, I think a lot of the, we see with, our friend Angela and, the stuff that, Adeline's doing, and us and various people around the community, there are actually out there trying to make a change and trying to make this a better area to live in, because we realize, we can go to another city but it's not our home. This is our home.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is, we have generations. When I lived in Florida, I thought it was the weirdest thing, because there was no history. The town I lived in, Cocoa Beach, was founded in 1933. The house I grew up in was older than that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many generations your family lived here, but my family lived here quite a few generations.
I remember very vividly, many years ago, Ralph Ennis, former county executive, now a judge, he said, Utica is big enough to have a lot of cool things and small enough where one person can make a difference. And I've heard those words almost every week since then. It's true. It's absolutely true. So if you're sitting on your couch thinking, well, things are bad and who am I? I can't make a difference.
Woe is me.
You're wrong. You're so wrong.
The Eeyore
Yeah, you're just
complex.
wrong. And by saying I've got an idea, or at least I have a wish. I wish this would get better. Let other people know. You and I are good friends with Katie Giacovelli. Every once in a while, she'll say something or I'll say something, and each one of us will come to each other's aid. Throughout the years together, we've always just said, if you say something that makes sense to me, I'm coming for you. I'm there for you. And I tell people all the time, you don't have to move mountains. It's nice if you've got a tremendous idea that you can execute and change the world. That's really great, and I would love that we could all do that. But most of us can't do that. So there's a second tier. If you have a friend who has a cool idea, just say, dude, that's a great idea. I'm behind you. What can I do to help you? Right? And there's even a third tier. If you can't help, if you can't participate, just get off the couch and go to the event. Just say,
Get involved.
There are 1,000 people in your crowd. You can see how much we believe in you. Keep going. Because believe me, I'm a person who's organized events. I've run events. And sometimes you stand in front of a crowd and you say, this is working and I feel so good and I want to do it again. But there are many times when you're doing everything right, it's a good idea, it really could matter, and there's 3 people in the crowd. And you feel like giving up. And we've all given up from time to time because it's just disheartening.
And then you see people.
So if you're just one of those dudes in the crowd, it makes the helpers and the inventors say, I'm going to keep going. And there's even a 4th layer. If you can't get off the couch and go to be in the crowd and clap and cheer, just say something. Just say, what that guy's doing is great. I support it. It's not, those bottom layers aren't hard to do.
Right.
You don't have to be a genius.
What kills me is that when, like you were saying, you do everything right, and you're standing in front of an empty event, and there's 3 people there, and then you go on Facebook, and they're like, well, there's never anything to do around here.
Yeah.
This town sucks, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, I got this going on, I got that going on over here, but you don't take part in any of it. So I kind of just say, you suck.
Well, there's some people that can't participate. They can't get out of their house for one reason or another, or there's something that stopped them from attending that particular event. They can at least say something about it. They can at least say, I support that, or I wish my friends would go. I want to share that cool
Or help
event.
promote, yeah.
Right.
So there, like I just outlined, there are 4 ways to lift something up, to be the wind under the wings of a thing, a little wind or medium wind or bigger wind. But
I love it.
Just trashing it or being
Negative.
completely inert about it, like I'm not even there, that doesn't make anything any better.
Yeah, you're not adding anything.
That's what
to
kills
it.
me is when people just sit there and whine and complain about the city and this and that and the other thing. I'm like, and like you said, what are you going to do about it? Well, I'm not doing anything about it. Not my job. But take ownership. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to sit there and complain, you're going to trash all the time, do something. Shut your mouth and do something. And that just drives me insane.
Lend a helping hand.
Absolutely.
This is all. We're in this community together, so we got to help each other
And
out.
I'd like to issue an open invitation to the naysayers who could be right. They might be right. If they're right and things are that bad, I'm encouraging them to please leave. Go to a better place. You're right. You're smart. You've got it figured out. So go to a better place. You deserve it.
You deserve it. Go.
You deserve to be there.
If it's not working, it's not
leave
working.
me and all
Yeah.
my crazy people.
Grass is greener on the other
Yeah.
side.
I'm
We'll see
inviting-
you on your way back.
We're trying to trim the fat around here, anyways.
I'll buy you some gas and just please go to a better place and make your life better because the world needs your awesomeness.
And I find that a lot of people coming from out of town and they come to Utica and to visit, they love it here.
Right.
They like, wow, this town's great. I have a great time. You got this, you got that, and then like they leave. Like the gentleman that came on the train, I believe he was from Rochester.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You remember that
Yeah,
story?
Arian, yeah.
And
Arian Herbowitz.
He did the whole story on Utica and like how
Yep.
this town's coming about, and like he went and visited different things, and like it took an outsider to bring people like, well, you know what, we do got some things going on.
He
here.
made a tremendous ripple in the pond. But
Yeah.
you bring up a good point. Arian is a very honest and astute observer. He did not sugarcoat or lie or distort or exaggerate anything. He called a spade a spade. He just happened to say, I like these 11 things. He's not afraid to tell you there's a problem. I've seen that. That's going to go bad. He's not afraid to say that. And that's another thing we have to do in our community is it wouldn't serve us well just to walk around saying, Utica's great and we're on a comeback and it's going great. That's not the story. That's part of the story. There's another part of the story that we have to embrace and own as well. There are some things that aren't good, just like everywhere else.
Everywhere else, right.
We're not distortedly, wildly different, and we've got to address that comprehensively, the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Some change. If there's changes that need to be made, try to make the necessary adjustments to make those changes happen.
And I'll give you a really good example that's happening just like about that in Utica. The Utica Zoo. Andrea Heath, right? She's the director of the zoo. She has led a campaign specifically putting light on things about the zoo that are not good. Sounds crazy, right?
It does.
Her theme is, we don't like it either. So instead of having us walking around going, that thing at the zoo, I don't like that. That's not cool. She's saying, you see this thing at my zoo? We don't like it either. Let's address this. Anybody want to think about this with me? Anybody want to help me with this? Anybody want to work on this? We don't like it either.
But she's not just complaining.
How honest, how transparent, how progressive, how inclusive. She just took all the naysayers and said, you're on my team.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
Like, I'm blown away right now.
We don't like it either.
Yeah.
And she leads with that. She goes to market with that.
Uh-huh.
Like, yes, what a genius. Like, all the naysayers are immediately deputized on her team. Well, I want to complain, but, like, you made me a good guy. I don't like it. Like, what can I complain?
And once they fix those complaints, then there's nothing to complain
Right,
about.
and then the minute she says it, all the people that care walk over and say, what is it that you don't like? I didn't know that myself, but I could help you with that. And now look what's changing since she started doing that. You know, since she showed up with her style and her attitude, that place is being transformed.
Now, when did she start doing that?
A few years ago.
Okay, so this has been going on for a couple of
Yes.
years. Wow. And
Yeah.
it's still...
And it's working.
And still, to this day, she's using that format.
And just like we were talking about with these performers, she sincerely believes it. She sincerely believes it. She doesn't like that. Well, and she's not afraid to say it.
I
See
like-
that where people walk? I don't like where they walk. It's a little bit crooked. We need to fix that. You're right. What can you say to that except for I'll help?
Yeah.
Right.
Wow, what a genius.
And
That's genius.
And how simple. Tell the truth.
Right.
Well, you can't ignore
Connect
it.
with your fellow man and with honesty.
It's like if somebody's at a restaurant and says, you know, it's taking a long time for the food to come out. You know, like this is, you know, like you keep hearing it. Okay, instead of like trying to cover it up and be like, oh, you know, well, we got this going on, blah blah,
Yeah.
everything's fresh, blah, blah.
Right.
You know, like address it.
Right.
Address it. Okay, I understand. I see your complaint. You know, we're
Yep.
gonna try addressing this problem.
And while you're
fix it.
waiting, may I do this, or would you like to try this?
Exactly. Or can you offer some solution on how we can speed this up for you?
Yep. What Andrea did is she just took every rug in the Utica Zoo and threw it in the dumpster. There's no rug to sweep anything under. She's putting it all out in the open.
It's great.
And look how it's working. You know, it's a good model for the rest of the city to follow, the rest of our region to follow. Let's be transparent and tell the whole truth, not just say, well, we're having a resurgence. Utica's having a comeback.
Yeah.
That gets pretty thin because what can you do with that?
Yeah.
Right? You can't make things better when everything's great and it's not really great, but you're saying so.
Right.
Like, let's be truthful.
Wow, what a great idea. I'm blown away right now. Like,
Our own little Utica Zoo did that.
Yeah.
We can do things like that in this city.
Absolutely. And now, do you follow that formula too? And like, do you use that into your
where I
work
work, where
and
I
stuff?
work at Indium Corporation, we have a program that we call "Turn the Company Inside Out." We disallowed any use of any stock photography, any spokesmodels, or anything like that. We took our engineers that do the behind-the-scenes design, product design work, and et cetera, manufacturing personnel. We turned the company inside out. Every single one of our ads and promotions only features our own actual people and words from our own people. We've gone to market with a theme called From One Engineer to Another. Our engineers talk to your engineers. We don't have anybody in the middle, no middleman. I'm in the marketing communications department. We're not allowed really to talk to the customers. Only our real, authentic people. You know the engineers with the pants that don't match the shirt and the pocket protectors are so hideously unattractive that you couldn't possibly put them in as the front man? We put them as the front man. Because they're real. They really know the whole truth. And guess who they're talking to? People just like them. Like me, the Marcom, the marketing communication, I'm the enemy to my customer because they're afraid I'm going to candy coat something or present it in a dazzling way.
Oversell it.
Yeah, like they can't trust me. They're not. I've seen your kind before. You always get me to buy the car that doesn't turn out to be that good. You're the guy that gets me to buy those shoes that nobody really does like. Chicks don't actually dig them, you know. Now that they don't want to talk to the advertising guy. They want to talk to another engineer, the same guy they went to college with, the same guy they were in high school with in the math club. They trust that person.
Connect with them.
Right. So we've got women and men in our company that are very smart. They're the ones that are actually making things, designing things, knowing how to use them the best. We put them out front. Same principle. Transparency. We call it turning the company inside out, and the way we go to market with it is called From One Engineer to Another. You talk to the real people.
Wow. That's like getting right in the mix. I
Do
mean,
it.
it is. It's like getting, wow. You've blown me away twice so far today.
I should leave right now, though.
No, I love the whole thing that how the zoo is doing that. Like, that's such a great model.
You need to have Andrea come down and tell you that.
Yeah, well, I've had Mike on before. Mike
Yep,
Beck.
yep,
He's
yep.
been in here before. In fact, I should get Andrea in here before. Get her on and talk about that.
She's killing it.
Yeah, they're doing well, right?
With that secret formula of hers called telling the truth.
Yeah, not all companies appreciate that. When I worked for VZW, they every time I'd point out they come out with a new initiative, and I'm like, well, what about this, and this? Oh, you're negative. I'm like, no, I'm trying to point out the problems before we bring them out to the customers, and now we have to do damage control.
Right. Mhm.
So I'm trying to bring it out to the forefront beforehand, and I just got called negative and things like that. But I definitely agree with that method because you want to bring out your problem set first. You know what I mean? It's easier to be, I always call it proactive damage control. You know, you want to be able to see where the problems are beforehand so you can correct them before they develop into a bigger problem, because it's easier to do it beforehand than it is in retrospect. You know?
Yeah. You better call up Andrea. Get it
Yeah,
on her.
no doubt.
She'll teach you some things.
The sign looks great out there too, out in front
Yeah,
of
don't you love
the
that?
zoo. Yeah, it looks great. You know, it's really eye captivating.
In a sense, just drive by image wise, it's transformational.
Mhm.
It's a different 3 seconds. When you drive by there, it's like, whoa, that's
You see something new every time. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's not like some little old painted sign that's peeling.
Uh-huh.
You know, yeah, she's transforming that place, and in that little small part of the city, she's transforming all of us.
Mhm.
And what if 20 other people did that with their organization?
Yeah. Wow, we got to start getting people to think like that a little bit more. Wow, just tell the truth. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing what you can do if you just tell the truth.
I know it's controversial.
Oh my God.
Some people don't believe it.
weird
It's
concept.
been proven.
Maybe we can get some of these politicians that tell the truth.
Oh,
Probably
come on,
not.
now you're
Come on.
crazy. You're
They might be
bugging
pulling it
now.
a little bit, but
There are some good people out there.
There
They-
is.
They care about the community, and we've got to get behind them. We've got to. Everybody's selling something. You know, you're a politician. You're selling yourself and who you are, and if we're buying the good one, there'll be more good ones.
Mhm.
But if you're not buying the honest person, then she's not going to run again.
Yeah.
She's going to get crushed by some guy who's full of snake oil. You know. You get what politics is. It's like TV. You know, you get what you deserve.
Mm-hmm. Dirty game sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but you are right. There are some good people out there,
Right.
though, that are pulling strings.
And
but
really care, and they put their heart and soul into it. And we've got to either run to their side and help them, or at
Mhm.
least be in the crowd and clap for them, or at least promote them and talk them up.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any events you'd like to promote? Got anything coming up?
Young Scholars is having their annual dinner and 25th anniversary of helping to produce some incredible students. So it's an event at Utica College, and it's a fundraiser. The money that you spend at that dinner is going to truly, I've seen it with my own two eyes, truly change a person's life. Absolutely, unequivocally.
And when's that?
I don't know. I can tell you it's coming up soon, but I don't know the date. I wasn't ready for that question.
Sorry.
Oh, jeez.
You can never be ready for EC Radio. I'm sorry, you can't. It's just,
Well, I
it's
don't
always.
It goes somewhere, you know.
We just got done talking about Madonna and Lady Gaga. You know? It happens.
I'm trying hard to find it.
Always
but I-
off the rails sometimes.
Oh my
Always off the
gosh.
rails. But I would like for you to promote Indian.
27th of March.
27th of March is the Young
At
Scholars
Utica
program.
College. It's the Grow Big Dreams dinner. It's their fundraiser. Last year, 2 years ago, John Zogby spoke. This is the caliber of students. This is the caliber of students that are Young Scholars. At that annual fundraising dinner, they had some of their Young Scholar students working the room, putting on these little displays, showing what some of the students do to the people that are coming to the dinner. So as a result, these students were in the room when the guest speaker gave the presentation, and that, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, was John Zogby. And many of the students that were working there, I mentor them. So after that event, I said to them, "What'd you think of John Zogby's presentation?" Of course, he was awesome. And the kids were very intrigued. These students were very intrigued. And one of them said, "I'd really like to know more from this guy. I'd like to talk to him more." But of course, he's this lofty, big guy. He's in and he's out. He's gone. He's disappeared. And I said, "Well, let me arrange that, because you know John Zogby is the nicest man on earth, and he loves this community. He's from." So I contacted John, and I said, I've got a handful of students that are just so intrigued with you and your message. They would like to meet with you privately. He said, "You set it up." So we got a room at Utica College, and one night, took a night out of his life, and he showed up with these 8 kids that were really interested in him. He started right out just like John Zogby does, not talking. He started asking them questions and teasing their thoughts and their feelings out of them. By the time I got home that evening, I looked up on Twitter, and he had tweeted, "I have just met the future."
Wow.
And he knows a thing or two.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's not an easy pushover. It meant a lot to me that he would even give that of himself to be there. But of course, if you know him, that's what he is. He's just the most generous person. It meant a lot to me that these students would ask for that and then stand right up and be a part of that. They weren't shrinking back. They were so curious and wanted to know what he thought about things. It helped them think about their lives. And for him to say that at the end of the night was, it was very telling, really. that I'm not crazy. These are awesome kids.
Probably something they'll never forget.
These are we still talk about it.
Yeah.
And these are awesome kids, and I can't live by not supporting that program. It's wonderful, and I would encourage anybody that cares about the future of Utica, that wants to do a little something to change a life, just help support the Young Scholars Program.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Man, that's cool. They got inspired by Zogby. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. One more time, though, before we get out of here, plug. You're hiring over at Indium Corp.
Yes,
so.
we are. Indium.com/jobs. Lots of different jobs. It changes every day. A job might come down and another job goes up. Sometimes when you look at age, we may have 15 jobs listed, so you'll think there are 15 positions open. But I can tell you, I've got one slot up there right now. We're hiring 3 people for that job.
Oh,
so
wow.
if it says we need X, we're hiring 3 X's. Don't take it literally. Like it's bigger than it looks.
Yeah, so there is some jobs out there, people. So
Yeah.
I don't want to hear, oh, there's no jobs. There's no jobs out there. There is. There's a lot of jobs at Indium Corp.
It's great to know too. I mean, because we do hear it all the time. People looking for work.
Yeah.
And,
Several months ago, we actually rented out the Radisson and the whole grand ballroom, and we staged our own job fair just for us.
Oh, wow.
We had hundreds and hundreds of people come through. We had an urgent need for several dozen people that we hired, just because of that one job fair. So sometimes we even go to that extreme where it's like we gotta make a bigger move than normal.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's success. That's a symptom of success. That's a good problem. We have
Right.
we have some good problems.
It's another positive in Utica. You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
another positive in this town that people are like, oh, there's no jobs here. Well, there's companies hiring all the time that people
Right.
aren't going and applying for.
Right. And we pay taxes, we buy shoes, we buy tires, we buy cable TV. You know, we eat at restaurants. So the more people we can have here, it just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
But I feel like a lot of people now are getting into like creating their own businesses, creating their own little niche, which I think is great for this area.
Yeah.
And
It's great for any area.
Absolutely. And I love seeing the energy. And we've seen people our age and maybe a little younger sticking around town and developing their own companies.
And the clever, hardworking people do that. Back to the Young Scholars, you'll be interested to know that I think 68% of all Young Scholars graduates, 65 or 68, are still in the Utica area. So these are highly accomplished New York State Regent scholars. Approximately 88% or so go to college, and they stay here. These are people that are loyal to the area. So those are the people that say, I've got an idea. I want to start an engineering firm, or I want to start a design firm, or I want to start a clothing line, or whatever, sporting goods company. These people that are believed in, that are encouraged, that are enthused, that are educated, that feel like they're really woven into this fabric of this community, and this is their home, they're the ones that stay, and they're the ones that typically start businesses. That's exactly what we need.
And there's not a lot of competition. That's the other thing is, I mean, you go to New York City and try to open a business, there's competition all over the place.
And the cost of establishing anything in a bigger city is much higher.
Exactly. Where I feel like if you start a business in this town, it's easy to network in this town because, you know, people know each other. They grew up with each other. They, you know, like this person knows that person, you know, like Z's network is amazing with the people that he knows. You know what I mean? So it's easy to like.
And the cost of services here is
Right.
also low too. The cost of real estate.
Yeah.
Probably if we were in Manhattan, you could buy this building right here, right now in Utica for the price of renting it for several months in Manhattan.
Mhm.
You could own the whole property.
Right.
You know, it's cheap relative to other places. And then each other's services. We don't have the high cost of living, so we can charge lower prices. So now a lawyer can give you good services for a lower price, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a great startup place. That's why the Stanley is a tech center now of Broadway.
That's great.
Netcinity of Utica, New York just wrote, we like to do business with people we know.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
I think is great. You know,
And
I mean,
it's easy to know people in this town because there's a friendliness, and it's a small town, so we are all rubbing shoulders with each other over and over again.
It is.
and that's why I feel like now is the time you're going to start seeing a bigger growth in more businesses opening up. And
Yeah.
I just wish there was more government funding for small businesses.
Well, look at it this way: we've got the Thinkubator.
Big ups to our boy Ryan Miller.
Right, that guy will set you up with all the right network and all the right ideas. He won't waste 1 minute of your time. You won't go down any wrong. There's no wrong path if you walk in the Thinkubator. You will be on the most efficient path forward.
And there's places like Score, you know,
Yes.
set up to help
Yep.
as well. But you know, I'm thinking more of like funding purposes. You know, like something to help these businesses in the first 6 months to a year, because generally that's when you don't get any
Mhm.
kind of funding, any kind of help, and that's the most crucial part of your business. And it would be nice to see some kind of, funding for these, businesses to thrive, to actually succeed. 'Cause a lot of them, they go under before they even have a chance to succeed.
Yeah, so true. That's the price of paying in business, especially in the beginning. But in the beginning too, you can't get a loan from a bank, especially within the first year of owning a business.
Correct.
Yeah. No bank's going to give you a loan right off the bat unless you got some kind of collateral to back it up. But if you're if it's a startup, chances are you don't have that kind of money. What's so funny?
Oh, because this is real estate market is on fire locally. This is Addie stuck on a business page.
Okay. Hi, Addie.
And that's another person. She's doing really well for herself. She created a niche right here in this town, and what she's got going on with the Property Sisters and everything. She's doing her thing. Josh Amodio. These are people who are relatively young doing their thing and doing it well. And kudos to them. And I'd love to see more of that in this town.
Yep. Absolutely. It's a great community we got. We just all need to help each other out.
Yeah.
And network a little bit more.
Be supportive.
And have communication with each other, compromise, communicate, We all need to get along in this community, and it's a great community that we're from.
I'll give you an example.
I would never trade it in for nothing.
Of a classic mistake that I made. My wife and I, Wendy, were out in Saratoga, and I was in this really awesome shop on Broadway. Saratoga's got all cool stuff. It's a cool city, and they're way cooler than us, and they got way cooler things than we have, of course, right? So I'm in this shop, and I found these really cool pants, and I really wanted to buy them, and of course I'll never find them anywhere else because this is the coolest shop in the world in the coolest little village, and they didn't have my size. And I said, Wendy, I'm never going to find these again because the only place they could possibly be is this cool place in Saratoga. 24 hours later, we're in Phillipson's, and I found 10 times the inventory on their shelf, my exact size. And
I love
I said to my wife, Saratoga's not cooler than we are.
And, you brought up Herb Phillipson's, and I love that.
We like to believe that we're this backwater last stop on the train. No, stop saying that. There's so much evidence that that's not true.
You're right.
And I even published that. I posted that out online, and I told that story to all of my friends. I was an idiot. I had that same stupid belief, and I was wrong, and we're all wrong for thinking that way.
See, and that's your fourth level, too, is if you can't help, buy local.
Yes.
Go and shop local.
That should be number one.
Well, I'm just saying, if you feel like you can't get out there and create your own business, you can't get out there and visit the events and stuff, you can shop local.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And, you brought up Herb Phillipson's. I tried to go to Herb's for everything. I love that place. I go in there when I have nothing to do, and I just walk around and look at all the shit they got. But I'll go there before Bass Pro. I'll go there before I go to Gander Mountain. I prefer to go to Herb Phillipson's. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of those places that gets overlooked. People think, oh, it's just Herb Phillipson's, but no, that's a local company, and they do it right, and they've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
And they're way cooler than that shop in Saratoga.
Absolutely. You can buy a kayak in there.
Yeah, no doubt. Rick, you got to come back, though. We need to come back. If you have anything you need to promote or anything, or if you need events or whatever, please use my platform.
All right,
the door is always open. I know, and I mean it, though. The door is always open for you.
Okay.
Please come in. Anything you need to promote, you want to vent, you want to get something out there.
Good.
Please use this, please.
Right, thank you. I will.
And it's good that we can finally get you in here and
I like your
make
audience,
it
and
happen
I like your style, and I like your energy. So
yeah,
good.
Buddy.
Good.
I like your style too. Tell the wife I said hello, please.
I
Wendy's
will.
such a sweetheart. And tomorrow we've got a big show tomorrow. Actually, big music show tomorrow. Cassidy's going to be in here tomorrow.
Really?
She's going to come in. She's going to play a couple songs. She's going to hang out, and then after that,
I like her videos.
Then after that, Old Maine's going to be in here.
Oh, I love that.
So
too.
we've got a double shot of excellent music here on EC Radio tomorrow. I'm looking
Talk
forward
about
to that.
authenticity. Both those acts you just named are absolute grassroots real.
And I'm trying to get them to collaborate tomorrow. 'Cause I think that could be really epic. I don't know.
Cool.
It could be a train wreck, or it could be really epic. You never know.
It won't be bad.
But I don't think it'll be
way.
bad at all,
No
actually.
way.
And I think it's something that we should work on. And who knows? We might be able to start something here. Yep. But that's going to happen tomorrow. Old Main's going to play in the studio. She's going to play a little bit too. And next time too, you come down. Bring the band. We're going to have backline in
Or
here
you could
really
just play
soon,
one
too.
of my songs now offline.
We could.
You could.
I'm so not prepared for it, though.
But don't forget.
Well, now we're even.
We still got T-shirts for sale.
Yep, we got a lot of T-shirts for sale. The anniversary white editions of the Disruption Network T-shirts.
$15.
$15. Come on down to the studio if you want one, or Chicken will even drive to your house and deliver you
And
one
if
you want to buy
I set
one.
up a team for Disruption Network on the Heart Walk.
Oh, cool.
And so anybody wants to join our team, join up, and I will do if you join the team, I will sell the T-shirt. If you want a T-shirt for $10.
Okay, cool.
So
Great. Awesome deal.
We'll sell a T-shirt that's like cost.
Join Team D at the Great American Heart Run Walk.
And then tomorrow night we have the D-line right after the EC Radio.
Yeah, it's gonna
so
be.
we get to talk
And
some
dress
football.
for anything at the Heart Run and Walk. It's
Yeah.
like really warm or
Yeah.
really cold or both at the same time.
Wear layers.
Remember that year when it was so warm and then it was freezing rain and people were wearing T-shirts and shorts and they were coated in ice?
Yeah, I do remember that.
It was
Then
really
last year was in
dangerous.
single digits. Last
Yeah.
year was really, really cold.
So dress for everything.
Dress for every. That is the truth. That is the truth. Rick, thanks again for coming in, man. This has been a lot of fun. Please come back anytime.
Thanks.
We'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget, you can check us out on this podcast and previous podcasts on the all-new DisruptionNetwork.net. We'll see you tomorrow.
Never you mind what I'm making. You should spend some time taking a personal inventory of what you're doing for the betterment of society.
You know what the hell you're listening to?
It's EC Radio.
Hey, it's Adeline Van Dyke from Coldwell Banker Faith Properties in Utica. I always get asked, why do I love real estate? It's very simple. I love my clients. I love every single thing about helping them find or sell their home. Making sure the home is solid and ready for sale or solid and ready for the buyer's inspection. To making sure that they're getting the best rate on their mortgage. Making sure they're getting the best price on their house. Just everything involved in the sale is vital. My absolute favorite part of real estate is when a buyer walks into the house they're going to buy. I can feel it before they even know they're loving the house. It's just that obvious. So I'd love to experience that feeling with you. So give me a call. Adeline Van Dyke, Coldwell Banker Faith Properties, 315-404-6431. Or you can find me on Facebook or visit my website at centralnewyork.com/Adeline. Thank you, and I look forward to welcoming you home.
When it's your hard-earned money on the line that you are investing into a home, it makes sense to choose a proven professional to assist you in making one of the biggest investments you may ever make. Josh's dedication of over 20 years to the home construction industry allows him to bring knowledge and experience to your doorstep. That means you can feel confident and comfortable with his service to you. Past clients love his attention to detail and thorough written reports. By allowing Priceless Inspections to help you make a well-informed decision concerning your property, you will find that a quality inspection is priceless. Follow Priceless Inspections on Facebook or call 315-525-8725. In the Mohawk Valley, for the best real estate service, you gotta have faith. Coldwell Banker Faith Properties, 315-735-2222 or www.centralnyhomes.com.